We've just brought a little bit of Hawks Radio for infiltration.
Do you want me to step out to balance it off again?
No, go on. I think you should actually do the honours.
It gives us great pleasure to welcome into the SEN AFL Nation call of the elimination final between the Hawthorn Footy Club and the Western Bulldogs, the great, the one and only, the Betrolamev Stefano Di Pier Domenico.
Thank you, kid. Yeah, thank you.
Robert,
great
what are you
to be back in my backyard. How good's this, eh? My backyard, I love it.
One of the first things I remember when I went to Hawthorn, I was 14, 15, and by the time I was training with the seniors, I was 16, and it was pre-season, and I can still remember you saying in one of the first training sessions, I was born to play finals, and it was 9 months away.
Well, I turned into be one of the greats. I didn't mean to, Gerard. Good to see you, mate.
Good to see you.
Medalist.
Good to see
Great
you,
to see you, brother. Yeah,
great to see you. How's the grass? Have you inspected it?
I've inspected the grass. My backyard's looking fantastic, and what a night. Now, you're just telling me there's no rain coming down, which
I don't think so.
We're expecting 92,000 odd people here tonight. I don't think the Bulldogs have played in front of 92,000 for a long time. Hawthorn did it, of course, against when Dusty played his last game here. But it's just going to be a ripper night. I mean, if you're a Hawthorn supporter, Doggy supporter, it's a Hollywood night. They should have those... what are they called, Jeremy? Those big spotlights out, like in
Super
Hollywood.
Troopers,
Hollywood saying, welcome to the best game on earth happening here tonight. But a lot of people in town. I've been travelling all week around Australia, and people have got their scarves on the planes and their suitcases, and I'm really looking forward to a terrific game.
So can I ask you from an historical perspective, you are the king of the boundary rider.
Yeah, of course.
Has it improved since your day, or is it still struggling a bit?
No, I think it's struggling, because back in my day, I didn't know who was playing, when they were playing, what names were in and out. Coaches used to try and trick me, but to test me with my integrity, Sheedy, that dirty dog Sheedy, right? He wouldn't let me know what's going on, but... No, it was great days, Jerry. We travelled every weekend together. We had the best time ever. And footy was great too, but anyway.
I've got to put it to you. People talk about how they play these days, Robert. It was conceivable back in the day that we would play on a Saturday, you'd play a Tuesday night game for the Escort Cup, play the next Saturday, the following Tuesday you'd play State of Origin, and then the next Saturday you'd front up again, you'd play 5 games in 14 days.
So true, but what about the nightclubs we visited in between all that?
The rehab was slightly different, Dip.
But the Tuesday night, I used to win the TV out there every weekend.
How many TVs did you win?
About 9. I won a car. I won a car, being the best player in the... I don't know, like all that sort of thing. Actually, I won a car 3 years in a row. Remember Japan?
Yeah. Can I tell you about Japan? They put an exhibition game on in Japan. They called it Aussie Bowl, and we played against Essendon
first.
And we were all saying, "What? Best on ground wins a car? You're kidding!" We stayed in for the first 3 nights.
No, you stayed in.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I went out.
Yeah, he went out, and we had the training one morning, 48 hours before the game. He was that hungover. The groundsman put grass clippings about 4 foot high on the edge of the ground. While we were doing our warm-up laps, he hid in the grass clippings for 2 laps. He was that hungover. Have a guess who won the car?
Well, Dunstall and Dermy, they were sitting in their room. You got to love this, Wayne, right? You got to sit there, and they bought the rubber pads, on your elbow pads. Pow. Bang, kick, like Batman.
I had on my right elbow, I wrote, "Look out."
I just went out and played my normal game. Unbelievable. But we had a good time. Great time. So what do you reckon tonight, boys?
Well, you're on the Hawks Radio. You're the expert. What do you reckon?
I can't wait. We're waiting for Croft. Croft's like Dermot, always going to be late.
What about the tools of the Bulldogs?
Well, the tools I rate a couple of them, but look, it doesn't really matter. The lights are out here. It is a Hollywood night. Hawthorn played this fast game and exciting game. Even if you don't barrack for them, you go and watch them, right? And the Bulldogs, they'll try and slow the game down, all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, they don't have a plan B. We got plan B, C, and A. No, A, B, C.
Are you disappointed that you're not part of the TikTok era? Because you would have been big on TikTok.
Oh, he is.
Well, he's still big.
Well, look, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm Dipper the Hawk. I've got over 100,000 anyway there. And I'm just starting to go on TikTok very shortly.
Right.
Yeah. But imagine back in our day if we could do what these boys are doing, like the selfies.
Oh,
and all
no,
that
I don't want that.
Eh? What would you have done?
I'd have been hauled up in front of the board way too many
loaves
times.
of bread around.
Yeah.
Is what he did.
Oh, that's right. He did.
Well,
You got money, we got nothing. I didn't get a slice of bread out of that.
Robert, I split half of it went into the players' trip fund. Why do you reckon you were getting free drinks overseas?
Oh, right. Okay.
Of which you partook in the most.
Bit of fun.
Did they win? Do the Hawks win?
No, they win. I got no problems about tonight. Bring it on. They do win, not because I'm a Hawthorn great. It's because I reckon this football can stand up in finals.
Yep.
You know, and Sam Mitchell's done a great job, and why not? Let's dream. And anyone that has, whoever wins tonight, I think get a free shot next week.
Can I ask you?
Mate.
We've had a few people on interviewing, and we asked them general questions. Terribly sad what happened to Christian Petrarca during the year. What about you? Well, you broke your ribs and it punctured your lung. And
what about you?
No, but you went. You
went down first.
Oh, Robert.
I was crying when I saw you go down.
No, I think you got nailed first.
Look, with Christian, it is really sad because you don't know how bad you are. I mean, you know personally that you want to go out there and play for your team, but, you know, the doctors these days and whatever, and I didn't know how bad he was. But, you know, just to bring it up in the club and all that sort of situation. Look, it was a grand final for us. I ended up at Hamilton Island for 5 weeks after that, which I did. The club took me there. And then I came back for the tribunal, and I got 5 weeks for hitting put a hock in. But I came back and I was so brown, I had gold chase, had a white suit on.
Is that the one where you hit Buddha and he stood up and then went and spat out a tooth?
No, he spat out a tooth.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He spat out, you knocked it out, and he spat it out.
Come on, Buddha, get up. Because I was crook. Come on, Buddha, get up. He didn't say a word and spat out. And look, we won. That's the main thing.
Yeah. And we'll win tonight, Robert.
Yeah. We win tonight. And the Swans going all right too. You're a Geelong man, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, and are you Port or Geelong? What
It's Geelong today.
Last night, Geelong.
Yeah, you are. Hey, guys.
Have a great night.
Yeah, thanks, boys.
Hawks Radio, it's there on the SEN app. Shane Crawford is here, so Dibber better get in there. Stephen Quartermain is running affairs there. I'm pretty sure across the weekend you'll hear a bit of that. Our major partner is Repco Authorised Service, Penrite Oil, and your local Repco Authorised Service. Banners are out, players soon to follow. John Schultz has been remembered on the scoreboard. We might get both Jared and Derm to share a memory or two of the Bulldog great next. This is the AFL Nation pre-game show for Beaumont Tiles. Free LED mirror with Beaumont's packages right now.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Repco.
Step up to the next generation of professional power tools with Makita XGT 40 volt and 80 volt max. Experience premium professional power with cordless convenience that's setting new benchmarks in performance and efficiency. Makita's XGT offers limitless professional power, reliability and runtime. XGT simply outpowers, outsmarts and outlasts the rest. When power means business, choose Makita XGT. It's power without limits.
I want my Makita back.
The Workside Portaloo. Okay. What better place to head to bizcover.com.au and check out all the ways you could be saving money on your business insurance.
Electrician.
Like your public liability. Because only BizCover lets you compare, save, and get instant cover online, on the go, in minutes.
I can save $400. Oh, woohoo!
You all right, Brad? Check how much a tradie like you could save on your business insurance. For on-the-go cover.
Go BizCover.
Hello, I'm hanging over your fence, watching you in your pool. Go on, scoop a leaf out. I've got plenty more. Annoying, right? And if you think I'm ruining your fence, take a look at your sewer line. And guess what? You can't touch me because I'm your neighbour's tree. No!
Honda's 36-volt battery garden range, complete with the all-new chainsaw. Engineered for durability, quality and reliability. No backyard bothers a Honda. Search Honda battery power.
Winning season news update.
Sources confirm there's a 1 in 4 chance to win in the Monopoly game at Macca's, with prizes like a Ziggy Elite Barbecue Pack from Barbecues Galore and TCL Ultimate Home Appliance packages. Download the My Macca's app and play today.
Ends October 22. For full terms, visit mcdonalds.com.au.
Life sure is good at Werribee Isuzu Ute, with their brand new showroom now open. It's one of the largest showrooms in Victoria, and it's packed with over 100 new cars in stock to choose from and all priced to sell, including limited stock of the late model D-Max X-Terrain from just $62,990 drive away. Plus, Werribee Isuzu have great finance packages for ABN holders on all D-Max in stock. Visit werribeeisuzuute.com.au. T's and C's apply. LMCT 114.
Convenience is the key when it comes to Melbourne Airport's terminal parking. Located directly opposite Terminals 1, 2, 3 and at Terminal 4, you'll be at the check-in counter in no time, with just a few minutes walk to the terminals. Plus, getting in and out is easy. Online bookings include a convenient QR code for smoother entry and exit. Just scan it at the gate and you're ready to go. Park with ease at Melbourne Airport. Book online for the best rates at melbourneairport.com.au.
The NBL is what dreams are made of. Greatness is within reach. No limits, only endless possibilities.
Chris Golding is the face of Melbourne United. A 3-time NBL champion, CG43 is a club fan favourite who broke records last season for three-pointers in the 40-minute era. The big question is, who will be able to stop him at the three-point line this season?
Watch live on ESPN, available via KO and Foxtel, and Sundays via 10 and 10 Play. NBL, we dream big.
If you're digging for a living, here's what to do. Go to supergroups.com.au.
It's Bucks here. When coaching, we love players who would dig in. First picked every week, Supergroups. Tough and reliable, they've been digging with Kubota for over 25 years. From 1 tonne to 8 tonne. Conventional swing and zero-turn models. Supergroups are the masters of Kubota excavators. Dig in with Supergroups.
Supergroups.com.au.
Stay on the ball while you're on the road. The SEN app is now available on Apple CarPlay, so you can keep up with all the big moments, expert commentary, and the latest news. When it happens in sport, SEN has you covered. Find the SEN app on Apple CarPlay.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Repco Authorised Service, Tyre Power, Big Footy Final Sale, and 4 and 25.
Crowd is building. Umpires on their way out into the middle. We'll see the players shortly. Welcome to back to AFL Nation for 4 and 20 Pies, Australia's original fan food and Repco authorised service. So before we get to the full preview, just a couple of other thoughts perhaps. So Dermot, you mentioned before John Schultz, so you both knew him, Hall of Fame and Brownlow medal nights, but you knew him from the Tribunal. I had a text during the week. Was he on the Tribunal? I thought, I wonder which vintage that was, and it was your vintage.
And a lovely man, because I used to work in, briefly, in the old VFL house, AFL house of its day. And he would come in semi-regularly as a Brownlow medalist and a statesman of the game, and he was always very polite, very kind, and knew who everybody was. So I regarded him with a very, very high regard, and a gentleman. You know, you talk about saying, oh, that's a gentleman. No, he was a gentleman, spoken as a gentleman as well, for a league footballer and ruckman of his era. But when he was at the Tribunal, for some reason, he would always ask, you know, as going through player Healy, you have been struck by player Brereton. What's your height and weight, please, sir? And he'd ask you. Well, I got measured in the record as a 16-year-old at 185 centimetres and about 81 kilos. By the time I got to the Tribunal, I was 187 and 94. And he would ask me, player Brereton, what's your weight? And I'd say, 185 and 81. And he'd go, right. He'd write it down every time. And I could see his mind ticking over, oh, that couldn't create that much damage, could it? And he asked me every time. And every time I gave him my dimensions when I was about 16. But he was a lovely, lovely man who always had the time of day for everybody, beautifully spoken, and clearly an absolute champion of our game. So for the Doggies, I hope they do him proud tonight.
Hawks are first out. Some of the fireworks shooting up into the sky over the MCG as they saunter their way to the banner. and about to get their first taste of finals in oh so long. Sports updates for universities. Australia universities matter because of what matters to us, like better courses and treatments. Visit universitiesmatter.edu.au.
So were you mail boy at the AFL? It's like an 18-year-old.
Yeah, we took in one
draftee. Imagine that, mail boy now at the AFL.
Well, I loved working there, and the great Jack Hamilton was the CEO. Imagine Dill's right at the moment.
Yep.
That was Jack Hamilton of his day, and
so it's like Jack Ginnivan working for Dill now.
Yeah, correct. And I won a premiership as a 19-year-old, and there was only, I think, 3 other executives who were able to call Mr. Hamilton Jack, and he walked downstairs and said, "Dermy, you can call me Jack from now on. You've won a premiership like me." so I got frowned upon by some of the middle-rung staff, but it was a wonderful place to work. So, yeah, I was the mail boy there for a couple of years and kept sending mail to the wrong place. In fact, I used to mail it to upstairs. On the second floor was the NFL.
And you couldn't be bothered taking the lift, could you?
No, just shuffle it all off. Yeah.
God, you would have had some fun in there, I reckon.
Oh, my word. There was some, what would they say in a tame way on radio? Hijinks, yes. We had, I'm not so sure a lot of it would pass the HR test these days, because we used to have barbecues upstairs on the balcony of the 3rd level, which was on the outside of the boardroom, where some of the greatest decisions our games ever had to manage their way through as well. In fact, I heard you talking about the history, was it yesterday? Talking about some of those. I remember driving out to several presidents with a satchel envelope about the future of the sport in an expanded way. I remember driving out to Tony Capes. I remember driving out to Albert Mantello in North Melbourne, and I was like the Minuteman courier. Do not let.
Did you read the Mail?
No, I did not.
There was a good article during the week about the potential Super League of the AFL, which nearly happened, and Ian Collins was one of the driving forces, and Scolo, such a fantastic contributor to the game, realised that you couldn't do it without the G and without the SCG, and but it was the forebear of the National League.
40 years ago this week, that dinner was.
it? Yeah.
Amazing. His 48-page paper. Yeah. Shannon Gill wrote the
Shannon Gill did a good job.
One of the major bugbears in there was Johnny Kane's name was absolutely vilified.
Oh, he wouldn't put a railway track out the way.
Correct. And they wanted the ability to run their own race out at their ground, grand finals and all. And John Kane said, "No, I like the MCG as the home of the grand finals." So no rail line goes out to Waverley.
All right, so the here and the now is the Western Bulldogs and Hawthorn. The preview is coming up with Dermot Burton and Jared Healy. That's all hot off the press. Deep heat, fast targeted pain relief from the brand you know and trust. Feel it work. 6th versus 7th. It ends for one tonight, but for the other, it's gaping opportunity as they head to Adelaide to face Port next Friday night. Hyundai Run Out on now. Don't miss out. Available on new stock vehicles only. T's and C's at hyundai.com.au.
You're listening to AFL Nation. For Repco,
step up to the next generation of professional power tools with Makita XGT 40 volt and 80 volt max. Experience premium professional power with cordless convenience that's setting new benchmarks in performance and efficiency. Makita's XGT offers limitless professional power, reliability and runtime. XGT simply outpowers, outsmarts and outlasts the rest. When power means business, choose Makita XGT. It's power without limits.
I want my Makita back.
Hi, I'm with Dan Isaac from Caveat Loans Australia. Dan, what is a private caveat loan?
A private caveat loan is basically an alternative type of finance, which is much more flexible in comparison to a traditional bank, who have much more rigid credit criteria.
How hard is it to get an approval and who can apply?
Well, the good news is that almost any property or real estate owner can apply. We do not require any bank statements, no tax returns, no financials or proof of income. Best of all, your credit rating is irrelevant. Visit caveatloans.finance.
Terms, fees, conditions apply.
As a roofer, plumber or builder, time is money. So getting your roofing, cladding and flashing supplies reliably delivered to your site on time is paramount. At Design Sheet Metal, simply order your roofing materials by 4:30 p.m. for delivery on site next business day. Visit designsm.com.au to place your order today or visit their Laverton or Bayswater showroom. Operating 24 hours, 5 days a week. Design Sheet Metal. In spec, on time, every time. That's designsm.com.au.
Nothing says modern farming quite like the Deutz-Fahr Warrior Series of tractors. Ranging from 170 to 350 horsepower, the Warrior Series lets you experience farming at full power. Available in a range of specifications with no AdBlue or DPF, the Warrior is your ultimate farming partner. To find your nearest stockist or to view the range, visit deutzfahr.com.au. The Deutz-Fahr Warrior Series. Unearth a legend.
We know you might go to some of the big brands of the mattress world too. That's fair enough. But all we're suggesting is check out the OMF signature range as well. Or even OMF's best value bed-in-box mattresses. Come and have a lie down. Simply see how you feel. And then look at the price. You might just agree that at OMF, we'll make you 100% comfy.
Before we run out on the field, our skipper knows exactly what to say to get our heads in the game. But when it comes to preparing our muscles for performance, we can always count on Deep Heat to have our backs. Nothing beats the iconic smell of the locker room and that winning feeling you get after a Deep Heat massage. Fast, targeted pain relief from an iconic brand you know and trust. Deep Heat. Feel it work. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Hi, it's Shelley Craft. For locally made gift ideas that shine like green and gold, check out Australian Made's top Aussie products. The go-to resource to find the very best Aussie-made goodies. From handcrafted homewares and accessories to innovative Aussie inventions, you'll find a top Aussie product for every occasion. Each one carries the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo, so you can be sure it's genuinely Aussie. Hop to australianmade.com.au/top Aussie and support local while you shop.
Oi, listen up. You don't do the garden. You do whatever we, the weeds in the garden, say. Okay? Or else your agate panthers will feel some agate pain. Your lawn's done for and your new deck is next. Everything in your backyard.
Honda's 36-volt battery garden range, engineered for durability, quality and reliability. With a mower, hedge trimmer, blower, lawn trimmer and new chainsaw. No backyard bothers the Honda. Search Honda battery power.
You're listening to AFL Nation. For Repco authorised service, Tyre Power, Big Footy Final Sale and 4 and 25.
Ten minutes to the opening siren of the second elimination final at the MCG. It is the Western Bulldogs and Hawthorn who bring such great form to the pointy end of the season, but only one gets through tonight. AFL Nation for Repco authorised service, Penrite Oil and your local Repco authorised service, and Tyre Power, Big Footy Finals Sale. Gerard Whateley and Dwayne Russell to call it for you. Our experts are in place. Dermot Burton and Jared Healy. AFL Nation is brought to you by the TAC. Wear a seatbelt, not the consequences. Give us a feel for what's about to transpire.
Dermot, what I love about the Hawks is just how this side has been built. I'll just run you through some names. Impey, Frost, Scrimshaw, Carl Amon, D'Ambrosio, Marbio Chol, Jack Ginnivan, and even Jack Gunston, who came down from Brisbane. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players coming from other sides over the last couple of years. It's been an amazing list build. Clearly they've gone to the draft as well, and they've got some fantastic young players, and in particular midfielders. But they have been able to do a fantastic job in isolating and identifying talent to come into this side. And the Bulldogs, they've got a few, nowhere near as many. Treloar, Lobb, Giray, Jones and Harms, who's back in the side. So there's 5. But, the way that Hawthorn have plugged holes and the way that Sam Mitchell has brought this group together has been one of the great coaching masterclasses we've seen in recent times.
Yeah, he's sort of shifted the I suppose, the blueprint away from what most coaches would say when they come and take the management role of a new team for them.
Draft.
Yeah, well, I know. Attack.
Right.
Teach them how to score and then teach them how to defend after they've got pretty good at scoring. Most coaches, 99% of coaches, go the other way. But you have a look at the Dogs, and their mantra has always been stoppage clearance. They took a while in the last few years to get the ball forward once they took it out of stoppage. They kept moving the ball around the stoppage by hand until they could find the perfect kick. And that, to me, said their forwards started to get out of position. What they've started to do, once they've moved the likes of Ed Richards into the middle, is get it into his hand, take risk, break out the front side of pack. And that's given their forwards a better look at playing productive forward footy. So we see the way that they do play. When it gets a little bit greasy at night, there's one bloke who's feasted on Hawthorn from the Dogs, and the easy answer is to go Bontempelli. It's not. It's Liberatore. He's always had a real... I think this is almost finals because it turns into contact football. It turns back into contest football. You do get matchups, personal matchups.
All right, give us a matchup or two for Seek. Better job matches with Seek. Simply seek and you shall find.
Tom Liberatore, I think, will end up locking horns with Jai Newcomb. 12 months ago, 18 months ago, you'd say Tom Liberatore wins that hands down. And he might win again tonight, but he's up against a bull now because Newcomb has now played... He's in that bracket. He's in that window of 60 to 80 games. Yep. He's played 74, so he knows what's going on now. So that'll be an awesome battle. The next battle is they bring in Finn McGuinness through injury today. So, but Finn McGuinness is a run-with player. So who does he run with? I don't think you can run him with Bontempelli. He probably reaches a bit high for him. So I think you probably do look at...
Richards or Treloar?
Richards.
Or Bailey Dale off the half-back line.
So you can stop Treloar because Treloar's turned himself out of being a breakaway, tear-away player to an inside ball-winning player who shovels it forward. Richards is the damage player. So I tend to think McGuinness will probably play on him. Bontempelli will just get Connor Nash.
Yeah, sure.
Bontempelli's such a big man, and Connor Nash is a massive man and can run with.
Our weather update for Mole Map. Detect melanoma early mole map is a game changer. It's 15 degrees at the MCG, off a top of 24. The radar looks good enough that we mightn't get hit by the forecast rain. We're about to enjoy the formalities here at the G. The unmissable moments for Drinkwise. Choose to Drinkwise. The two sides lined up on the members' wing. A great sense of expectation that comes at this time of year. Nat Edwards is about to take us through it. The Welcome to Nation. And
the Australian Football League and Premier Partner Toyota welcome you to the 2024 Toyota AFL Final Series and tonight's second elimination final between the Western Bulldogs and Hawthorn. The AFL acknowledges the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, the traditional owners of the land we gather on today, and pay our respects to elders past and present. We acknowledge we play our great game on this land and respect the cultures of all First Peoples, their contribution to our nation and contribution to the game of Australian rules football. For our official welcome to country, please welcome Uncle Colin Hunter Jr.
I'd like to start by acknowledging that this evening we are meeting on the lands of my ancestors, the Wurundjeri people, and I'd like to take this opportunity to pay my respects to my elders, both past, present and emerging, elders from all nations, but I particularly want to pay my respects to everyone gathered this evening. But I always like to acknowledge the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us and pay my respects to them also. Woomajeka, welcome. Wurundjeri Balak, Yuman Kundi Big. The Wurundjeri people welcome everyone to land today. Wurundjeri, no, Buddambor War, Kondi, Nagnak, Dilbin and Big Bollock Bor, Chilligan. The Wurundjeri people want to look after and protect the land as they did long before. Wurundjeri country extends from the inner city of Melbourne. It goes across the mountains of the Great Dividing Range, west to the Werribee River, south to the Mordialloc Creek and east to Mount Borbor. And the Wurundjeri people are part of the Kulin Nation and of the Wurrung language group. And while on Wurundjeri country, you're most welcome to the traditional lands and the waterways of the Wurundjeri people. So Woomajeka, welcome, enjoy the game, thank you.
Thank you, Uncle Colin. If you are now able, would you please rise, remove your hats and join with the coaches, players and umpires for the Australian National Anthem, tonight performed by Trent Bell.
Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soils and wealth for toil. Our home is good by seas. Our land abounds in nature's gifts. Our beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every sage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia
What a sight and a sound. The full MCG is in September. Brown and golds, blue, white and reds right around the stadium for this elimination final, and such hope in so many hearts as to what's about to transpire. The last of the warm-ups before us for Ream manufacturing in Australia for more than 80 years. These are two teams to fall in love with, maybe a player or two to fall in love with tonight for Barbecues Galore's epic Father's Day sales extended. Head online and in-store now at barbecuesgalore.com.au.
I'm going to give you a conundrum one here, Jared, and that is a boy who will not suffer the occasion at all, but he mightn't kick straight. The Wizard. He will love the moment. He'll love the occasion. He'll want the moment. But he mightn't kick straight as well, so he's going to be a bit of a conundrum for us.
I reckon if the Hawks are to win, Marbia Chol needs to be a significant factor in this game. And the battle, I reckon, will be between the Lobster and Chol. That is a pivotal battle to me in the outcome of this match.
The other one, I just want to... Tim English has to be as physical as he can. He cannot allow Meek to just push him away from the drop of the ball.
Toss of the coin for Keno Go. A hot date is worth the wait with Keno Go. Download the app and start playing today for your chance at the $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes. Marcus Bontempelli has won the toss and the Bulldogs will kick to the city end. You could hear the wind blowing through the microphone during the Welcome to Country, so it's pretty breezy down on the G. Download the
Colin lost a leaf or two today. Sorry, I think Uncle Colin lost a leaf or two with the. It is, but it looks like it was blowing on the ground, different to the flags blowing on the top.
Yeah, the flags are blowing basically from the city end, and yet
Uncle Colin's leaves are blowing the other way.
Yeah, and that's the way that the Bulldogs elected to kick. They're kicking essentially into the wind,
which is why I raised the question, because you look at, he wouldn't have looked at the flags then.
Yeah, but what, as you call it, because what happens is. Bear with me here for 10 seconds. For every metre you have in height, the wind goes over the top, you need 3 metres for it to get down to ground level. So what comes in on a southwesterly over that northern stand there, the Ponsford stand, takes 3 times to get down to this wing. Right. So it's in shelter at the city end.
That is a refreshingly BWS stat right there, brought to you by BWS. They've got your drinks for game day sorted. That's refreshingly BWS. The pre-game show is at its close. For Beaumont Tiles, free LED mirror with Beaumont's packages right now. Dogs haven't played a final in Melbourne since their premiership in 2016. Hawks haven't won a final since their last premiership in 2015. Only one goes on out of tonight. It's the Bulldogs and the Hawks on AFL Nation with Dwayne Russell.
And it feels like a grand final. Big crowd in, early momentum's going to be huge. Meek had a chance and now Bontempelli gets it. Go into Bramble and then it's the Dogs. They get it to half forward. Waitman came hard, manhandled, no free. Vandermeer go into Richards, running through the middle. He can go for home. He goes to Norton. Is he going to kick straight tonight? He just might. He's one in Norton. Is Norton. One straight to the Hawk chip to score, and we've played 20 seconds.
Richards burst through the middle, set that up. His pace and ability to come down the spine of the ground gave them that extra play where they were able to feed the ball back to him on the fly through the middle of the ground.
Weddle has matched up on Darcy. They're clearly going to try and expose him going the other way, but if they don't stop the ball movement coming in like that, what a magnificent start by the Western Bulldogs. That was exhilarating.
That's the hot start for Ream.
And Richards was looking for his left foot, didn't have one. He was looking to give it to Norton. He was looking for his left foot, but fortunately he had a right.
Nash initially went to Bontempelli. He's with Liberatore right now, so Bontempelli's near enough to Warple. There's the bounce. Mead won the tap. He was taken high by English. Hawks will get a look at it out of the middle.
Strangely enough, he's been an All-Australian ruckman, but he's got a lot to improve on in his ruck work.
Meek, footy in hands, drops it onto the right boot. He's gone straight through the middle. Yeah!
So what the Hawks did was really carefully planned there. The half forwards came up to the back of the square while Meek had the free kick 30 metres away. The three deep forwards held in the goal square, making this huge void of space between the 50-metre arc and about 20 metres out. And that's what the Hawks forwards, led by Deere, ran into that open, wide space. That's something the coach will need to get onto.
Maybe the most heartwarming story of the year in brown and gold. Calcideers pushed his opening shot across the face of goal and through for a behind.
But it is very much what we were talking about before the match, the Sam Mitchell structure in that forward line. It's world best right now, and Joey Montagna's exposure of it was excellent as well.
So Dale to Bramble, so they get the clearing kick to defensive 50, the Dogs. Chip kick, he got a bill or two from the Hawk fans of the memory, and Nash knocked it out of play, and we'll get a ball in. Our experts for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts, Dermot Brereton and Gerard Healy. So we've played 2.5, 3 minutes opening term. The Dogs are a goal, the Hawks are a behind.
Kelsey Deere just looks so impressive coming out from that goal square. What a good young find.
He's opposed to O'Donnell.
And the Elders for Australian Agriculture scoreboard.
Meek down to Newcomb, taken to ground instantly.
Yeah, Meek is just, I think he's going to dominate the hit-outs to advantage. He's just too good in that area.
Liberatore was on the spot to lay the tackle.
And again.
Grapple, Meek down, but Liberatore has it. Sharp hand pass to Bontempelli. Let a bit of traffic go by. Shot it over his head to Liberatore and then to Daniel. So the Dogs get it up to half forward. Sicily went for Spore. McNeil ended up with the footy. He was wrapped up well. But there's a free kick. And it's going to Darcy.
So that's a sign. Sicily marks that without that shoulder injury.
Darcy and Caleb Daniel just lagged off to the right. Towards the boundary at half forward. Congestion Wilson up ahead. There's a decent old grapple down there involving Darcy. He's gone for Norton. No mark taken underneath. Smothers were laid. McNeil worked it off. Bontempelli kicked the goal, but it's all coming back. Free kick to Amon in the skirmish. It goes against Vandermeer.
So it looks like Bontempelli is not being tagged. It is purely man v man against Connor Nash.
The place is rocking. Nash's going to have to go here. He waited. Richards went and attacked, and he got an arm.
Yeah, good call by the umpire.
And he hands it off quickly, so plays on quickly, wastes no time, and now Jones playing in front. Takes the saving mark for the Dogs at half-back. Heads out wide. Norton's about to leap here. Gets there. Good second grab. Flat-handed it first time. Not to do his own advantage. Goes to Richards. It's a free here, is there? Is there a 50 here, or is it?
There's a block.
Oh, it's a block allowing Norton to take the mark, which means it's a Hawthorn free kick. And no one knew, even Jarman Impey, who gets the free kick, didn't know. 5 minutes gone opening term, and it's still the Dogs who lead a goal. The Hawks are one behind.
Dusty free kick. That was going to be another goal for the Dogs.
Get away a couple. Impey backward to Sicily. Expansive swish to Morrison. Over on the worn side of the ground. Running into space is Hardwick. He takes the mark and has a look. He's waving furiously down the field. He follows through. Meek is in position. Inboard, the hand passes slip to Amon. Inside 50 for Chol. Went one-handed. Didn't pull it in. It's out of bounds.
No, it needed to be better there, Marbio Chol. That was a mark that was absolutely markable. We're just having a look at the block.
Yeah, Wakeman, he's just took him to the ground.
Jamari Ugahagan, who started on the bench, is now on for the Dogs. AFL Nation for 4-20 pies. Ball back into play. Inside attacking 50 for the Hawks. Meek, second effort, good. Tackled by Duray, and he didn't dispose of it legally, holding the ball. So Taylor Duray with the free kick on a half-back flank.
One of the great strengths of the Western Bulldogs is what Hoyne calls the Bevo Strip Club. They don't get first possession, but they strip you of it.
Norton got there late, couldn't take the mark, knocked down Sicily's direction, gave it to Weddle, got under the kick a little floater. Williams is under it, Ginnivan's under it, free kick Ginnivan. He's about to send the Hawks to half forward, is their Colt hero.
Played that cleverly.
Ginnivan just has a look at the field as it sets up at half forward. He's gone for Meek, who's well positioned, and he's just too tall.
He's been one of the pickups of the last decade, this guy. He has just transformed his team. He's transformed himself. He's a hell of a player.
And Tim English is running with his back to the flight of the ball and caught underneath.
Yep.
I wouldn't have thought it's too often that Lloyd Meek can outwork another ruckman in terms of running. I sort of said before, Tim English has to be physical tonight. Must be.
Lloyd Meek. He's kicked 7 goals this season. He loads it up from 46. He made pure contacts. How do you like a ruckman who can kick it like that? And he has made a physical imposition on this early. Meek with the Hawks first. 1-1-7 to the Bulldogs. 1 straight. Elders for Australian Agriculture scoreboard.
I've got the binoculars on it. And Big Dipper, he is absolutely going troppo there, almost to the point of I tip this.
He's got to save it. He's got to have somewhere else to get to later on.
It's a great mark by Lloyd Meek, and a great kick as well. Kicking with the wind, even though the Bulldogs elected to kick into it.
Yeah, it looked like that ball held up a little, and the kick that Kaushadir marked looked like it held up a little as well to that end, which is the punt road end that the Hawks are kicking to in this opening term. Scoreboard for Elders for Australian Agriculture. Hawks in front by a point. 1-1 to the Dogs. 1 straight. So English and Meek go at it again. Ward, Meek, Newcomb. Almost the clearance. Bontempelli cut it off. Back to Warple. Chisels one inside 50. Bouncing ball. Deere got there. Gave it back to Ward. His handball missed the target. Straight to Duray. In fact, it's Williams around his body towards the middle. Bouncing ball. Scrimshaw attacked it. Gave it to Richards, though. Plays for the other team. Richards on his left. Chips it wide. Over the head of Jamari Ugahagan. Big Frosty on one of his runs, and the crowd loved it. He gave it off instead. And now Impey sends it to half forward. It's a little long. Big fist of O'Donnell. Knocks it down to Warple. Hammers it inside 50 for the Hawks. Bouncing ball. Gunston's there. McDonald's there. Dale's there. Forward pocket. And it's rushed through. No, it's the behind or out of play. It's out of play, but not deliberate. I thought they were trying to deliberately rush it behind, and it rolled out of play instead, which is normally deliberate. Okay.
Right forward pocket for the Hawks, attacking the punt road ends. Meek and English. Meek plants himself in front, tapped it down near McDonald. It got past him. Bontempelli throws it onto the boot. High ball drifting at the 50. Umpire got skittled behind the play. Impey works it around. McGuinness got it off to Scrimshaw. Kicks up to full forward. Scholl couldn't get a run at it. Well shut down by Lobb.
Yeah, they needed that. They're under some savage pressure here, the Western Bulldogs. Their kicking has not been anywhere near as good as Hawthorn's. Ed Richards' kick, I think, was probably blown off its target because he misread the wind.
And the injured umpire's gone to full forward.
Just checking on his well-being. He's been told to go and have a rest.
He is, so he heads down to the other end of the Dogs' head. Sicily, good mark.
He's getting a free rein here, James Sicily. You don't want to allow him to be kicking inside 50.
Chips to the pocket. De Gunston's going to have to go. He does. He knocks it to the ground. McDonald got a kick away around the body. A ripper. He's got some smarts, this kid. And that was huge. Instinct, clean-handed, and spot on target with the kick. And the Hawks lead 2-1-13 to the Dogs. 1 straight 6. That's on the Elders, your reliable partner in rural and regional Australia scoreboard. Our experts for MEGT Australia's apprenticeship experts, Gerard Healy, Dermot Brereton.
So James Sicily's playing at halfback, as you would expect. I thought he might have been charged with the task of playing on a taller opponent, which would occupy him and make most of his thoughts go into aerial combat. He's up against a mixture of between Vandermeer and also Waitman. Now, they're not threatening him in the air, so James is saying, well, blow you. I'm going off where I think the ball's going to go to when it comes out. He's had 3 kicks, and he's going at 100% at the moment, thanks to Hijas Halal Financial Services. You don't want to let him have half a dozen kicks like that in a quarter.
Replay for Repco authorised service. 13 plays 6. Hawks lead it. Tap went their way initially. Harms fights the fight for the Dogs. It paddled out initially. Darcy got caught with it. Ball it up. The tussle around the footy. Nick reaches around. Daniel had first access. He fumbled it out to Ward. So the Hawks probe to the 50. It's wide and it runs wider still. Chel's after it, tried to slap it back. Lob got caught by McDonald. The moment he took possession, no chance. Ball it up.
Well, he read that best, Marvio Chol. Such a great athlete. It's going to be a terrific battle, this. But so far, the Hawks look like they've settled best.
50 out from their goal. Richards got it underneath. His kick was smothered by Morrison. It ricochets out of play. Throw it in for Spitwater, high-pressure washers.
Yeah, just looking at the pressureometer, the Hawks are well and truly on top at the moment in that department.
And the number one thing on your pressureometer is the smother, and that was exactly what that was to keep it in the area.
So it's Lockie McNeil opposed to Sicily at this point. I don't know if he's going to occupy him enough.
Amon got a chip kick inside 50. Fraser wrapped up immediately by the Wiz. And we'll get a ball up 48 metres from the Hawthorn goal. So since the Dogs kicked the opening goal of the night, it's been all Hawthorn. So ball flung in the air. Richards gets a kick away. There's another smother. Put that one down to Ward. Bontempelli doesn't take possession. He slaps it on. It might work. McNeil, a big hard tackle on Norton. Put into the deck by Amon. Dispossessed. Scrimshaw. Nash. Hot in the kitchen at the moment, and the Hawks are loving it. Good wraparound tackle by Morrison. He's fought for his life every game he's played his almost entire career, Harry Morrison, so it's good to see him out there. And the Hawks still lead this one 2-1 to 1 straight.
Hawthorn dominating with handball at the present time, trying to move it out of the congestion to clear space, 16-7.
Nash tried, Harms as well. There's no escaping the clutches of the tacklers. Ward the last to lay.
So Weddle going and playing on Darcy means that when Darcy gives relief ruck work, Weddle goes with him. So it's a match for match, shorter but more agile.
Darcy wins the tap, but it's well roved by Newcomb. A smother made though. Back into dispute. Darcy hacks it clear. Waitman front position. Didn't complete the mark. Has support. McNeil fired it inboard. Bontempelli couldn't quite get hold of it. Morrison weaves his way through. Hawks back to half forward. Watson slipped over and opened the way for Fraser to take the intercept mark.
Had a good second half of the season. Fraser goes to O'Donnell, across to Williams, and they're out on the open side here, the Dogs. They can run it. So hand up to Bramble. He looks forward. He's got Jamara, but he's got Frosty for company. It goes towards Scrimshaw in the end. Frosty's worried Jamara out of it. Scrimshaw goes against the grain. He goes to D'Ambrosio, who gathers in the back pocket, and he can go on the open side if he wants to, but he doesn't want to.
It took a while to become the potential A-grader that he is at the moment, Scrimshaw, but he's there right now. He's a magnificent kick and having a fantastic season.
D'Ambrosio conservative and wide to Sicily. The Dogs hemmed them in on the members' side of the MCG. So Sicily long down the line. Weddle presents. He dropped the mark. He did all the hard work. Couldn't complete it. Ginnivan lays the tackle on Gallagher. Ball up.
You see Gallagher threw the arm up trying to get Ginneman to tackle him high.
Darcy and Whittle. Darcy down to Richards. He's got plenty of company, though.
Just seems, to my eyes at the moment, if Bontempelli doesn't have hands on, the Dogs look a little fumbly around the footy.
Treloar just bides his time down on the bench. Darcy takes it out of midair, gives it off to Daniel, worked it around to Harms, kicks the Dogs up to half forward. Norton's got a couple against him, didn't have great position. His hands to it at the last. It tips away out of play.
So Weddle has to start getting some hands on ball, and I'm not meaning the hit-out department, but running it, because Darcy has cleaned him up a couple of times now at clearance.
So we'll see what happens here with this ball in 50 from the Dogs' goal. Darcy, he pushes him out, gets the kick away. It's a floater. It's a mongrel that is magnificent. Good goal. They needed that, the Dogs. They were under pressure for the last 7 or 8 minutes of this contest, but that's a steady, a 2 straight to 2-1. Hawks still lead by a point, 13 minutes gone in this opening term, brought to us by Elders for Australian Agriculture, and the clock for Makita XGT 40-volt max.
Motioned him under the footy then, Jared. Eased him under the footy. He's not a big, powerful man. He's very tall. 208 centimetres place, 191. 17 centimetre discrepancy there. And just that longer muscles and reach, he is able to move Weddle under the footy, takes it out of the ruck, just slaps it across his foot.
Yeah, it was very... it was a cousin of a push in the back, but the matchup itself is what concerns me, because he's dominating that matchup.
All the night for Corteva. Keep growing with Corteva Agri-Science. English is back in the ruck. He tapped it forward momentarily. Warple had something to say about it. Gallagher off the ground, though. Dogs inside 50. Waitman knocked his hand. Well, his hand pass was knocked away. English worked it to Darcy. He'll double up. Oh. No, he hit the post. He struck it much better. It looked like a lovely kick off the boot, but it was jamming into the post. Scores a level.
Everyone takes a breath. It's been high intensity. Big crowd here at the MCG. Fantastic atmosphere. Scrimshaw with the kicking goes long, and Sicily, good grab. Had the reach on McNeil. The mismatch was picked out, and they are away here. If Impey gets this, they're away. He doesn't get it. Jones.
Well, that was a poor kick from the captain. It was really poor kick.
Yeah. Yep.
Because they were away. They had man either side, and he just didn't nail it.
Well played by Jones, though. He read James Sicily's kick.
Jones to Treloar. Darcy forward, can't take possession of this one. Warple waited for Weddle, who waited for Warple, and now Scrimshaw has to mop up their little mess. Flings it over his head, gets it to Warple. Last line of defence. Little chip kick, it's going to work. It just travelled the required. D'Ambrosio looked up at the umpire like I did to say, if that's 14, you're in trouble. And he got paid the mark. McDonald comes down at half-back, gave the handball up. Still in some trouble, but Big Meek bursts his way clear. Heads to Watson, crunch. The big rock and lobster got there with a fist, and then he kneed it out of play. And it's not on the full, it's off the knee.
Above the knee.
Not below the knee. Ball in.
Shows it coming out the front of the knee.
Can someone send the Hawthorn runner out to the group and say, the Wizard is 4 for 3. Don't kick it on his head.
Halfway mark of the opening term, 2-1 apiece. Members wing the throw in. English got it going the Dogs' way. Treloar couldn't quite take possession. D'Ambrosio worked it around. Nash kicked it straight into Daniel. Bounced off his boot to Harms. Bit too hurried with the hand pass, and he turned it over. Meek again to D'Ambrosio. Finds the gap in the middle. He delivers it to McGuinness. Kicks the Hawks to half forward. Moore's his target. Bramble over his shoulder. Bramble wins it. Moore dispossessed him. Moore's got the footy. Bramble dispossessed him. Umpire Wade play on. There were two holding the balls in there. And Weddle's able to work it on. McGuinness kicks up in the shoal direction. Didn't hang on. They pile in on top of it. The umpire to ball it up. 30 metres out from the Hawthorn goal.
You'd think at the moment Chol's got his hands to 2 clean marks so far and grasped both of them.
He thought he was going to get paid there. Should he have been paid? Gallagher goes and gets it for the Dogs' back pocket, floats it wide, and a good mark for Vandermeer. One-on-one with Impey, and then Impey hassles him. Dogs fans thought he deserved 50, doesn't get it. Heads to Jamara, horrible kick. Jamara can't get there, ball rolls out of play, and we'll get a ball in on the wing, and just some fans at the moment that are absolutely loving the style of footy and the closeness of the footy that we're seeing here tonight. 2-1 to 2-1. Doesn't get any closer than that. And we're about to tick into time on of this opening term. On the Sell-Aid, seconds can be the difference between life and death. Make a difference with Sell-Aid. Time on period of this first.
Meek wins the footy at the stoppage. Gallagher got a hand in, though, to prevent the Hawks' progress. His hand pass turned over. Weddle to Meek, who's been central to everything. Batted forward by Weddle into open space. The Dogs get numbers to it. Duray has a fumble. Williams, though, is sure-handed. Put it through English. Back to Williams. Confronted. He got his kick poorly. Straight to Weddle. Great pressure from the Hawks.
The Bulldogs know that Hawthorn are going to try and handball every time, and they have smothered half a dozen or so in the last 10 minutes.
Weddle a long way back to Scrimshaw and out the near side to Hardwick. Hardwick's got the long kick up the line to D'Ambrosio, and he's got company. He takes the mark and feeds it on to Moore. Moore ducks back inboard. Kick on the 45. Nash pulled it in. Nash gets himself back off the mark.
Targets too.
Got to wait for Marbior to get in position now.
So that's where it goes, and Meek's there as well. English well placed, knocked away from him. O'Donnell's kick is going to turn over. D'Ambrosio.
They did that really well. He just stuck his ass out just to give himself some buffer room.
Coming up for his 6th possession, Massimo D'Ambrosio on the Hijaz Halal Financial
Start on the bench as well.
Stats.
I think he might have started on the bench as well.
Yeah, 5 of those disposals have been on target, running at 83%. He's probably one of the 3 or 4 in the team if you're a Doggy supporter, you wouldn't want to have the ball in the hands of.
Massimo D'Ambrosio from 48 metres. Contact wasn't great. It might have touched the man on the mark on the way through. Lands in the square. Ginnivan went out of mid-air. He's kicked it out on the full.
Would that have gone through had he stayed home last night?
Probably. He didn't tee it off well enough, Jared. The tea drinker from last night.
I tell you what, Lloyd Meek has been dominant in this term.
Yeah, it's a big game, isn't
He
it?
is.
Dale, back pocket for the Dogs. 22 minutes gone, opening term of this elimination final. Heads out wide. Meek's under this just to prove Jared and Dermot's point. Couldn't get on the end of it. Williams flicks the handball but straight to Amon. Went for Weddle, missed him. Richards gets it back for the Dogs. Gave it to McNeil, and here they go. Liberatore from the wing, floats it wide. Beautiful pass to Norton. He's a long way from home, though. Who does he want? Hands to Treloar. 70 from goal, kicks to the Bond. 45 from goal. Make it 47, but it's kickable by his standards. They're all kickable by his standards.
So you look at the way this game's been played now, the Dogs are going to rely on run from behind. When they receive the ball forward of play, they turn around and there's not enough set players ahead of them to say that's a real good chance. They've almost got to tread water until somebody flushes past and get it on the move.
The captain from just outside the arc. It's floated wide and he hasn't even scored, so it's still 2-1 apiece. That's,
That can't be Bond.
Oh, it must be the wind.
Well, it was always going to play a factor when it is a significant north wind.
It's sheltered in that corner, I'm telling you.
Amon at the restart. Goes for distance. Up over the top. Big fly. Duray didn't bring it down. Williams fights his way clear, though. Kicks the Dogs into the pocket. It skipped past the first couple of contests. Frost caught by Darcy. Taken over the boundary. The umpire was satisfied that not enough time had elapsed. Bit of a skirmish in the aftermath. Frost and Darcy continue. Bulldogs fans thought they were robbed holding the ball as they look at the replay for Repco authorised service.
It claims he spun not the full 360 but 270 degrees of the spin to get to the boundary.
English to the front, but he knocked it straight to Morrison, who kicked it directly to Treloar.
Panic kick. And Livers decided to give it to somebody verbally. So Big Lloyd steps over there. No, it's Connor Nash. Liver won't understand him anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Adam Treloar overcomes a calf injury to play tonight. This season recognised by All Australian honours for the first time. So the veteran Bulldog makes his approach. Treloar from 40 out. Lovely. That goal returns the lead to the Dogs. 3-1-19 to Hawthorn, 2-1-13. Elders Scoreboard, your reliable partner in rural and regional Australia.
Isn't had a lot of it, Adam Trelaw, but just the 3 touches. But when one of them's a goal and it sticks it back in front, they are worth half a dozen possessions. So it was into that westerly wind, I should say, Dermot, rather than north wind. But as you said, it looked pretty well sheltered down there.
Yeah, both teams have had 5 shots at goal, and the Dogs with one more goal giving them the lead here. So it's really evenly matched here in terms of game sense and game style. Conflicting styles, but evenly matched as for who's got the sway of things here.
AFL Nation for Tyre Power. Big footy final sale on now at Tyre Power. 5 minutes left in the opening term. Meek knocks it down but to Liberatore. Got a handball but straight to Warple. He had his pocket picked by Bont and he waltzes his way clear. Gets onto the left, sends it long. Norton can't get near it. Scrimshaw marked it, and a good mark at that.
Classic example, though, of Bevo Strip Club. Hawthorn had it in the middle of the ground.
Yeah.
But the Bulldogs took it away.
Hands it off to Weddle. Does Scrimshaw. Hugs the boundary, heads toward the wing, and O'Donnell read it best, but he couldn't take the mark. Deere just knocked it clear last second. Newcomb's got it. They've got him. It's on the logo, on the wing, on the Shane Warne side. And you're on AFL Nation. Great to have your company wherever you're listening. Here's Gerard Whateley.
Up she goes. English spikes it forward. Morrison got it out of mid-air, though. Gave it away to Newcomb. Worked it around to Nash. Gave ground to Scrimshaw. Got his kick away, but too much pressure. Straight to Richards.
Joel off the ground. They're going slightly smaller in the forward line.
Richards with a chance to drive the Dogs toward attack. He just second-guessed himself. Kicks now up inside 50. Weddle dropped the mark in front. Norton was a play for a moment. Amon got in underneath to disrupt the play, and Sicily sticks the tackle. Vandermeer. Bontempelli pushes Sicily off Vandermeer. Interaction between the two skippers. It's a ball up. Dogs inside the 50. Meek protects the area. Didn't get back to it. It'll cost him a free kick. You have to get back to it if you decide to keep the other ruckman away. It's English's ball.
Yep. That's the right decision. Oh, is that claret on Newcomb's face, or did he roll through the centre square? Did he?
He got back to it with his foot, but not with his hand.
No, and he got it on the bounce with his foot. So it's the correct decision. You must come back to the ball if you go past the line of the drop.
Tim English granted the shot at goal. He's in the channel. He lets fly. It's good. The Dogs take full toll of those couple of late chances, and they lead it by 12 points. 4-1-25 to 2-1-13 on the AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies for Tyre Power. Big footy final sale and for Repco authorised service.
Well, he needed a win there, Tim English.
He did.
Yep.
It was a good conversion under some heat, but the Bulldogs haven't played their best, but they're 2 goals in front, so it's a good launch pad as we head up to quarter time.
Both teams 10 inside 50s as well, thanks to Hijaz Halal Financial Services. And the Doggies have got the 2 extra goals, 4-1 to 2-1.
Still 3 minutes left in this opening term. And we saw a high-scoring game last night to start the final series, or at least one team was very high-scoring. And we might have an enjoyable night tonight as well.
Liam Jones is off the ground, which is unusual.
So from the contest between Meek and English, no one gets a decisive knockdown. But English, in the end, got it to Trelaw. Dogs get the clearance. Norton pushed out. Could be a free. Scrimshaw's marked it. Umpire said it was legal. So he goes wide, and Jarman Impey has it.
There's a bit in that. He did motion him under the footy.
He did. He pushed him for sure. McDonald gave it off to Newcomb. I was waiting for our push in the back specialist to make an adjudication, but we'll get to Jared shortly. Amon in the meantime gives it inside to Sicily. He's got it middle of the ground, and he mongrels one. It's a floater that's long. Down there is Lob. Off the deck, the Wizard! He's missed it. As he often does, but it's a free kick to Lob anyway because he was manhandled off it.
You don't need my commentary. That's the footy gods talking.
Okay, nice.
So it's the Dogs who get the free kick off the last line. Out to Dale, had a bounce, kick to Waitman. It hit him flush as he was diving at it. It ricocheted out a fierce pace into the fence.
I don't think I've ever seen that happen before.
Well, he need to have a concussion check for that.
He just about need one.
It's come off quick, didn't it? Yeah, that's a free kick in the goal square. Actually, you know what? I reckon it's done for a shepherd, not a hold. I don't know what the umpire's decision was.
English got another ruck. D'Ambrosio made the smother. Waitman hurdles at it, worked it away. That looked high from D'Ambrosio, but it was paid as... yes, it is paid. It's just a bit too fierce.
Yeah, you've got to be
Gallagher.
more careful than that, even though he did drop into the tackle there, Gallagher.
Defensive side of the middle. Gallagher uses it particularly short to Duray. Umpire waves play on, not 15. Duray sends it boundary side. It floats out on the full.
There's a plant. Still playing with the Hawks.
So the Hawks have the ball through Frost.
The Dogs have done very well to stop Hawthorn moving the ball at pace. Their pressure, as you called it, Jared, at the source has been very good to disrupt.
Frost to the ruckman. English brought it down. Liberatore found a hand pass out. Treloar up toward the 50. Jamara presents. Spoil made. Norton gallops onto it. Hand passed it away. McNeil to Waitman inside 50. Vandermeer just needed a bounce. Didn't quite get it. Jamara's lurking. Has it brought down by Sicily. Goal-saving tackle.
Yeah, well, the integrity of the game needs to be looked after by the umpires. You can't have blokes just throwing the ball out. You can't have blokes pushing guys in the back. Finals or not, stick the whistle in your mouth.
From the ball up, Meek tried to knock it down. Big pack around it. Richards had a sneaky chance for a flying shot at goal from 10 out. Couldn't get on the boot, and the umpire's going to have to sort it out again. You want to elaborate on your point, Jared?
Well, I just think there's been a couple of obvious free kicks that have just not been paid one. I mean, the umpires aren't far away. They're ignoring them.
Right. So a lot calling for the put the whistle away final series, and if they're there, they're there. Quick sling kick in the Chol direction. He gets there at half back. He danced his way past a couple. Did the merry old Chol. Goes wide towards the Wizard, and he's got it on the wing. What's the Wizard going to do? There's only a matter of seconds left in the opening term. He goes inside to D'Ambrosio. There's exactly 60 seconds left, and the Hawks have it on a half-back flank, but they trail by 2 goals, 4-1 to 2-1, the Dogs lead.
This is where young Deere needs to take his opponent away because Chol has got Duray. Bad kick.
Slice kick out on the full. There was a push there to Duray, and then Chol cleaned up Bramble as well. So take your pick of the 3. It's a Bulldogs ball.
A couple of their skill errors have cost them Hawthorn. Just trickled into their game in the last 10 minutes.
Ball back to Fraser, up to Duray. I think everyone's happy just to play out the last of the seconds. Fraser's got the switch all the way across the MCG. Daniel with footy in hand. He's able to find. He doesn't quite find Vandermeer. Morrison's on his hammer. Vandermeer tries to turn his way clear to get a kick away, and he did so successfully. O'Donnell marks it low down, and that'll pretty well run out the last of the seconds. It's the Dogs by 12 points at quarter time. 4-1-25 to Hawthorn 2-1-13. Goal kickers Treloar, Darcy, Norton and English for the Dogs. Meek and McDonald have those for the Hawks. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies, for Tyre Power, Big Footy Final Sale, and for Repco Authorised Service.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Elders, your reliable partner in rural and regional Australia.
The Workside Portaloo. Okay. What better place to head to bizcover.com.au and check out all the ways you could be saving money on your business insurance.
Electrician.
Like your public liability. Because only BizCover lets you compare, save, and get instant cover online, on the go, in minutes.
I can save $400. Oh, woohoo!
You all right, Brad? Check how much a tradie like you could save on your business insurance. For on-the-go cover,
Go BizCover.
Hi, I'm Russell from Bunnings, and this year we're launching a new program called Home Ground Advantage. We know that sometimes the things that don't look the best can hold the most meaning. And at your local footy club, this is no different. Whether that be the weathered grandstand or the change rooms where the song is sung after the match. That's why we're going to help 5 deserving clubs make what's great about their club even better, with $50,000 worth of Bunnings products and materials. Apply online today.
Catch up on all the latest scores and news.
Collingwood take the final step on the stairway to Premiership heaven.
In the time it takes to get from the car park to the office with SEN's The Day's Play.
In Adelaide, Team Ripper GC take out the title.
Loose ball goes to Rankin. Oh, he's a magician.
Our team go over the big matches and big moments.
Ty Webster, he shoots the bench to Tasmania.
SEN's The Day's Play. Thanks to Drinkwise. If you're choosing to have a drink, choose to Drinkwise.
Every detail about Porsche has to be just right down to the way you pronounce their name. It's this unrelenting attention to detail over 35 years that Porsche demanded when selecting Charlie Battisti & Co. as their certified collision center for Porsche. So should the unthinkable happen, Charlie Battisti & Co. will restore your vehicle to Porsche's exacting standards. charliebattisti.com.au, Melbourne's finest facility for the repair of prestige German vehicles.
Spitwater, the trusted Australian brand for pressure washers for over 40 years, introduces our new Australian-made cleaning chemical brand, Flow RPM, making Spitwater even more effective when you need the job done right. Cleaner, faster, smarter to restore, protect and maintain. Flow RPM cleaning chemicals made specifically for Spitwater. Available through your local dealer. Call 1-800-SPITWATER or spitwater.com.au. Spitwater, working as hard as you since 1982.
That's what it does.
Experience the power of Milwaukee's M18 outdoor power equipment. From blowers, trimmers to lawnmowers and chainsaws, Milwaukee's outdoor power equipment meets the performance and durability needs of landscape professionals. With over 250 solutions on the one battery platform, take your battery off-site today and power a world of outdoor solutions. Explore the outdoor power equipment range at milwaukeetool.com.au. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
So, have you had anything to drink?
Yeah, but only a couple. And I ate a big meal.
Okay, breathe into the device, please. One long continuous breath.
I also drank plenty of water. And I'm a pretty big guy as well.
Okay, you've blown over 0.05, so I'm going to need you to step out of the car.
I'm not going to lose my license, am I? I didn't drink that much.
Stop kidding yourself. If you drink, don't drive. A message from the TAC.
Flat footy moments to avoid this season.
The second half.
At a Barbie, here's Jackson and his mates checking the stats for a multi. No! His battery goes flat! He can't get live updates!
Stay charged with a Signet power bank. Compact and lightweight, it fits in your pocket, and you'll never go flat or miss any part of the game. Signet power banks, available at signet.com, as well as in-store at JB Hi-Fi and other leading retailers.
You're listening to AFL Nation. For Repco authorised service, Tyre Power, Big Footy Final Sale, and 4 and 25.
Waitman came hard, manhandled, no free. Vandermeer gave it to Richards, running through the middle. He could go for home. He goes to Norton. Is he going to kick straight tonight? He just might. One straight to the Hawk, get the score, and we've played 20 seconds.
He's gone for Meek, who's well positioned, and he's just too tall. Lloyd Meek, he loads it up from 46. He made pure contacts. How do you like a ruckman who can kick it like that? Meek with the Hawks first.
Macca's, I'm loving it moments. The Monopoly game at Macca's is back.
Bulldogs by 12 at quarter time. Dermot Brereton and Jared Healy for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts.
Dermot, we were just having a look at the centre clearance, and of course clearances where the Western Bulldogs have picked up 3 goals to the Hawks. No goals. One of them was Weddell versus Darcy, and that was just a bad mismatch, and Darcy made them pay. A couple of them also came out of the centre.
If you have a look at the way they've scored, it's been their ability to move the ball quickly. It's as if they're saying, we can only score against the Hawks when they're unsettled or we pressure them into a mistake. That's their 2 avenues to goal, apart from that Darcy one, which was wonderful. So they've moved the ball quickly. They've tried to wait for run to come from behind to move the ball at pace, the Dogs, and they've done it very, very well. Norton looks threatening in the air, but is yet to have a real exact toll on this game. But Bontempelli has been credited with 4 clearances. It feels like the early contact work from his teammates breaks the ball free, and he seizes on the opportunity and drives it forward. So you wouldn't want him ending up with 16 clearances for the game on this track. Otherwise, the Hawks are out of it. So probably need to tighten up a bit there.
The Hawks need Marby at shoulder to turn his half chances into complete chances.
Dogs by 12. Start of the second term. Meek went early. It was well rowed by Newcomb. Gave it away. Ward kicks it inside 50. No mark taken. Ground ball to be won. Lobb slapped it away from danger initially. Kept it in the field of play as well.
Again there, Marby Achol, he's just got to get his head in the game. He allowed his man, Rory Lobb, to come up and neutralise that ball. He was 10 metres behind.
He's took it over the boundary. It's a throw in right half forward for the Hawks. We'll work in the power play rankings for Red Energy. Switch to Red Energy from that opening term. The Rucks have been prominent to say the least. Warple roves the tap, got it up to Chol. He's tackled by Lobb. No chance to get rid of it.
Rankings, Jared Darcy is 48, Meek is 45, and Scrimshaw had the most possessions, 11. He's on 45.
He knocks it out the side. McGuinness first at it. He's tackled by Bontempelli. Had to get rid of it to the umpire's satisfaction and did. Liberatore to Daniel on the turnover. Clears the area. Ugle-Hagan took a huge ungainly fly. And he'll be penalised for it.
I worry about Ugle-Hagan when he does that, because it means his timing's out. And if his timing's out, he struggles to come back into the game. So he's just got to get his hands on the footy, a few easy lead-ups.
Sicily a chance to send it in deep. Chol trying to get a run at it. Can't. English just glides through and takes the intercept mark.
Oh, dangerous kick though. Almost cut off. It is cut off. Good chance for Morrison. Gave it off to Chol. Tucked up against the boundary. Weaves his way past a couple to Meek. Just getting there, English. Stumped it away from Meek. Treloar, hands and knees. Scooped it to Richards. They're out of trouble. They've given to the Bond. He flicks it to Daniel. He can get and go if he wants to. He's going to wait for the doggy cavalry to arrive.
This is where he waits for that run from behind to come.
Because it's not a long kick. So he needs to...
Hawthorn is set ahead of him.
Yeah, he goes way wide. And Waitman took the mark
right
now.
up the ground, Wayne, and his man Hardwick is not going with him.
So the umpire paid the mark and it was overruled by a different umpire who was behind him. How can an umpire with the same view 30 metres further back overrule the umpire in front? That's a weird one, and the crowd don't like it. Sicily back to Hardwick, and he crosses all the way back to Jarman Impey. So they've gone from one wing all the way back to the back pocket of the Hawks, opening the ground up a little for a foray forward, although McDonald's going to have to hold it up at half-back anyway.
Meek's staying forward, and English is staying with him.
McDonald up to Newcomb. Newcomb to control the direction of play. He is going to go backwards, not quite as expansively as the previous. Hardwick has it inside the defensive arc. Sicily just can't find the way through.
Struggling to move it.
Sicily brings it up to the wing. That is nice. McGuinness. So McGuinness does a bit of signalling here and there. Oh, that's a risky kick. Newcomb made it better than it was. As he rises over Treloar to mark, hand pass to Scrimshaw, confronted by Waitman, turnover. Richards, can the Bulldogs create the fast break? Harms to McNeil, charge down. Warple did a great job. Richards has it again though. Worked it out to Dale, shot it out the side to Williams. Morrison closes. Williams kicked it sideways, straight to the boundary. Insufficient intent.
Yeah, the crowd didn't even roar for it because they knew they were getting it anyway. And another handball smothered, so it's not just a kick smothered style that Jared Healy was talking about. It's the attacking the player that's about to handball and smother the handball as well to keep it in the area. Hardwick short to Newcomb. He's got the running Impey, middle of the ground. He gets it in the air for the leapers. Chol can't jump, and big Lloyd, in fact it's Lobb I should say,
Lloyd Lobb
takes the strong grab in defence. He goes wide to Dale. It's been an amazing transformation for Rory Lobb, and the story continues to grow. If he has a good final series, and the Dogs have a good final series, or Jamara's hit the deck and hurt his shoulder as he's taken that mark, and he's getting up really slowly as well.
Yes, he's now being spoken about as the rock lobster, Dwayne. I mean, everything is just all positive.
It is, and the B-52s might even write a song about him the way he's going.
Jamara just nursing that shoulder a fraction. It's a slow play, long up the line. Darcy's going to be outmarked by Sicily, up over the top. Terrific juggling mark by the skipper.
Gugalagan is just flexing his left shoulder. He's got a little niggle there. And, the man with the ball in the hand showing him how to deal with it.
Sicily's kicked it for Chol, who's got lob close.
Big battle this. Chol versus the Lobster is pivotal in this whole result tonight for mine. And at the moment, the Lobster's well on top.
5 minutes without a goal so far on the Host Plus scoreboard. Still 25 plays 13 as it was at quarter time. Ball on its way back into play. English and Meek. English won the tap. Bontempelli the footy off to Richards. Got a kick out of the congestion. It's particularly wide though, and it is out on the full.
It's already a movie called The Lobster, Jared. Your thoughts on it? It's one of those. It's a weird movie, Jared. Would you recommend it or not?
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, okay. Oh, don't hurry. Wide, long ball and a big Barbie Chol got up this time. Couldn't bring it down. Richards the crumb. Short. Harms can't mark it. Sicily hassled him. Handball up quickly to Richards. Inside kick cut off by Morrison. And he dances his way past a couple on the wing. Hands it to Warple. Inside 50. The kick to Gunston. He had it and then he almost had an arm chop. Handball back in dangerous territory. Might be rushed. Might be kicked off the deck. It is a kick off the deck goal for Deer.
Oh, dear. Well, that was brilliant.
Wow.
That was as good as anything you're going to see in the EPL playing this year.
He did a bit of body work before he got to the ball.
I didn't think it was his foot that got to it.
I think he had 2 cracks at it.
Yeah, so having a look on the replay here. Yeah, O'Donnell led him. He ran past him, pushed O'Donnell to the side.
Yep.
So that's why people say, why do you do so much weights? Yeah. Do you lose agility in that? It's because in those moments you don't want to get pushed off the ball. James O'Donnell did, and Deer soccers the goal through.
Started with a bad kick coming through the middle of the ground. Ed Richards, who's been dominant. And Postecoglou liked it. He's already texted.
A goal of the night for Corteva. Keep going with Corteva Agri-Science.
It is one that you feel is just against the strain at the moment. The Dogs have stopped Hawthorn being able to move the ball at pace.
Dogs by a goal. Meek won the tap. Richards fights hard. Can't release the footy.
For those who haven't seen it, they're just listening at home. It was a little tap with the left foot and then a goal with the right into the back of the net.
Darcy tapped it down. They grapple underneath. Richards is still central to that. Vandermeer as well. Darcy gets through, knocks it forward. Gallagher feeds it up to Vandermeer. Kicks to full forward. Jamara's out of position. Frost beats him hands down. Kick risky on the way out. Newcombe was set a huge task. Whittle's there to lend a hands. Paddled on, but not sufficiently to win possession. Vandermeer slips over. Darcy's under siege. Got the hand pass away, but turned it over. Ward in close confines. Away to Meek. The Hawks break to the wing. It doesn't reach Watson, though. Dale nicked in front.
And Watson let him know. Kicking like that.
Richards gets up and takes a good one-hander.
He's responded.
So Dogs about to go inside 50. Richards about to send them there. He got a little skimmer in the Waitman direction. Clean bowled him, went to the back. Impey there, but he left it behind. Williams there, left it behind. Tackle laid. And we'll get a ball up.
Gugalagan is really frustrated with Frosty. He threw him out of the last contest. Frosty's got him inside his head right now. He's owning him.
Don't want Frost in your head, Jared. Ball flung in the air. Bontempelli on the move. Nearly pounced on it. Caleb Daniel does. Got a handball up to Treloar. 50 from goal. Chips it. Pocket. Missed his target. Scrimshaw left it behind. Hurt himself as he landed on his shoulder. Sicily's got it. They come at him. Almost ball. Liberatore. And he missed it to the near side. Did Liber.
Pretty snappy, yeah.
Good pressure too. The skipper nearly blew it. Gave away a free kick, Sicily, but he survived.
Dogs by 7 on the Host Plus scoreboard.
League coming off the ground.
Tag out for Spitwater high pressure washers. Sicily sends it long down the worn side of the grounds. Scholl has a fly. Didn't take the mark though. Ball is won by the Hawks. D'Ambrosio works it up to Ginnivan. Pokes it inboard to Nash. Hands it off. Got to find the way through. McDonald worked his hand pass into the middle. And now it opens up for Impey. He has a dash and he kicks inside 50. He wanted McGuinness. It didn't arrive as Darcy got across the front. They're judging it ever so well in defence, the Dogs.
Gave it up to Daniel. And he goes to Liberatore. And he holds it up.
So, once again, that's a kick which needs to travel 45 to 50 metres on the run, and he just mishits it. It only travels the 35 to 40, and it gets picked off.
So down the line with the kick and close to the boundary, and Vandermeer content to take it out. They're holding up a sign on the bench, the Dogs bench, a big 21 sign. Not sure what that means, 21.
Weddle's coming back and going the spoil, the big crunch punch, when I reckon
it's an intercept mark opportunity.
Absolutely.
Might just mean Liberatore.
Pressure of the moment as well.
Might just mean Liberatore's off because he has come to the bench. So Harms gets it and he sends it long. Norton manhandled, goes anyway. Sicily across the front. Great grab. Hawks 3-1. Dogs 4-2. Good game at the moment.
He bites off the big kick. Ginnivan clears the way by edging Dale underneath. Ginnivan has the ball on the wing, wriggles the hips, opens up the space, kicks the Hawks up inside 50. Needs Gunston to come from 4 deep, or Deere comes back with the flight. No mark taken. Deere sticks the tackle on O'Donnell. It's a ball up.
Now, Gunston's yet to touch the footy. He's had one tackle, but he hasn't been able to get dangerous and make space for his teammates. And that's the way that the Dogs have played it as well.
Vish taps it inboard. Treloar tried to get it to Richards.
Well, he looked finished halfway through the year and he's fought back and he's got himself a spot. But you can see them quickly moving to Bruce in the second half.
Treloar taken high. He plays that very short to Bramble.
Yeah, he got a bit of a... Was it a knee? He got it to the head. That little contact.
Back to Dale. So a bit of slow play from the Dogs. 11 and a half minutes gone of the second term. They have a 7-point lead. And they're just chipping it around at half back. Bramble again. This time he goes longer. Norton's got 2 against him. Ball clears the pack. Hardwick got it. Skipped his hand pass across the turf. Weddle slipped over as he went for the accelerator. Goes backwards to Hardwick, who kicks the Hawks up to half forward. Ginnivan backed himself. Came right up at the footy. Took the mark. Kicks inside 50. Gunston this time.
Well, that was just brilliant from Ginnivan. He had Bailey Dale in front. He got to a metre in front of Bailey Dale, and that was a great one-on-one that sets up Jack Gunston for what he does best.
It required 2 one-on-one wins against direct opposition, though.
Gunston's on the move, kicks around the corner, and he makes his mark. The Hawks have a pair of goals in this second term, and the deficit is just a point. Jack Gunston's first touch is a telling one. 4-1-25 to the Dogs, 4-2-26. Host Plus has been named Money Magazine's best super fund for 2024. That's a plus, issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au.
So, Jared, my read on that is that's a bonus goal.
Yep.
Because if you're relying on the ball coming out of the back line and you have a marking one-on-one duel and you win it, and then you kick it on further and you rely on another one-on-one marking duel and you win that too, that's low percentage. That's not the way Hawthorn normally score. So that's a bonus goal to the way that they're playing this. So it keeps them right level, at water level with their opponents, the Dogs here.
Well, the Dogs have got a problem, and his name's Sicily. They can't get past him in this term.
So the Dogs are goalless in the first 14 minutes of this quarter. Hawks to kick 2. And Warple from the scramble in the middle gets a handball in the Nash direction. Hawks are threatening to take the lead here. The Wizard couldn't quite get near it. He lays a tackle on Duray. Yeah. Is it holding the man or in the back? It's one of the two.
One thing Duray will think, though, is, gee, he got to me quick.
He did. So Duray heads wide, heads to Williams, and he can go on the wing. He's got Vandermeer short, or he's got McNeil long. He goes McNeil long. Oh, great grab. Well, amazing grab, really. He used his body, then dive back. So he chips the kick to attacking 50, gets it to Vandermeer.
Norton looks dangerous.
Sits it up for the leaper. Norton's there. Will Norton go? Weddle went with the fist, knocked it down. Newcomb to Sicily. They just can't stop the man. Floats it back outside, but Frazier takes it for the Dogs, and they're about to go back inside 50 shortly.
The wall was well set around to the right. Williams took the mark, sold the dummy, opened the possibilities, and kicked the long goal. Ripper stuff from Bailey Williams.
Thought his way through that beautifully, Jared.
Yeah, he's probably the Dogs close enough to their best player at the moment, Bailey Williams.
Made a couple of errors previously in the first quarter, but that one there receives the ball 60 metres out. Rather than saying, I'm going to set up the direct kick in there, which is always difficult, he cribs another 7 or 8 metres and then balks the man, D'Ambrosio, who comes to him and gets to well within kicking range.
Made a certainty of the goal for DLF Seeds. Clean crop brassica system. Control weeds, increase yields. It's the Dogs by 7, 5-2-32 to Hawthorn 4-1-25.
Yeah, he marks at 70 out, takes 2 steps to pretend he's playing on and just balks D'Ambrosio way too easily. And D'Ambrosio's an excellent player of that type of play as well. I'm surprised he swallowed it.
Dogs need some more out of the Bont right now.
So Meek and English go out. Liberatore's in there. Warple wins the clearance. It's a bouncing ball that Bramble pounced on, gave it to Harms, missed his handball target Dale, but Dale clever enough to pick it up and then shrug a tackle inside with the handoff to Liberatore. Little Duray 1-2 with Libber. Kicks the ball straight into the waiting arms of Moore, though. Good smother. Warple gets there. Hammered by Harms. Knocked down. Libber, he was hammered, knocked down. Whose free kick's going to be paid? It's the free kick to Warple at halfback for Hawthorn that's paid at the 16-minute mark of the second term.
Hung the switch up. D'Ambrosio brought it to ground, had to get rid of it in a hurry. It was real panic stuff and it might turn over. McNeil's after it. He'll trickle it onto the boot. Run it up near Norton. Took an awkward bounce. Sicily dispossessed by Waitman. D'Ambrosio holds up. Gives it away. Lovely little move. Amon, I beg your pardon, kicks long down the wing. Brought to ground. Ginnivan feeds the hand pass on. Deere back to Ginnivan. He'll link it up. Lovely kick. Perfect to McDonald. He'll wheel and look. It's on. McGuinness. Right forward pocket.
Well, the Wizard Watcher's looking up saying, well, what about me? I was there about 5 minutes earlier, but...
I don't know if the Hawthorn are filled with confidence between the Wizard or Finn McGuinness. Set shot from 35 to 40.
Most famous for winning the Corn medal last year as the number 1 tagger.
He's kicked 4 goals, 5 this season. 45-degree angle to the right, 40 metres from goal. Finn McGuinness, the test on the set shot, and he has just leaped it across the face. It started on a good line, but kept getting away. They're down by 6 on the host by scoreboard.
Gave it a chance.
Imagine the breeze hit that as well. Pushed it across the face.
I'm telling you, it's breathless in that player.
Well, you and I head down at half-time. Quick kick in, Bramwell to Duray, and he thumps it long. Vandermeer's target on the wing. Frosty got there just in time. Knocked it down to D'Ambrosio. Gathers on the wing. Handed it to Moore. Moore tried to knock on. Not smart enough. Vandermeer got there and cut it off. English still a chance. Meek still a chance. Big pack around it from the congestion. Ginnivan also a chance. He got it and then he handed it straight to Treloar, who smothered the hand off. And the umpire's going to have to sort it out with the ball up.
Ugle-Hagen's on the bench. He's been there for a period of time. He did go down with a bit of a shoulder. So we'll just monitor him and see how much more he plays.
Spitwater high pressure washers. They fight for the ball at left half forward for the Hawks. It won't come out.
Everywhere on the ground, 60 metres to the Hawks goal square, or the other end, everyone's one-on-one. They've done away with the one extra.
English won the tab, but cleared the area initially. It fell to Amon, who pumps it into the pocket. Watson will take the mark. Duray slipped over at the key moment.
That's about the third time now that one of the small Hawks has just snuck in front of a Bulldogs defender.
18 goals, 23. Everybody knows the struggles that he's had. He has been getting better and better.
7-16 from set shots today, this year, I should say.
Geez, I wouldn't mind it from today.
Nick Watson, tight enough angle to the left. 40 metres out. Watson has pushed it through for the goal. A little touch of magic comes to September. And the Wizard celebrates it with the Hawks fans in the stands. Scores a level. 19 minutes into the second term. It's 5-2-32 apiece. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 Traveller for Tyre Power Big Footy Final Sale and for Repco authorised service.
It's not the score fest we thought it might have been, Jared, but it's everything else we thought. It's a contest. Two really well-drilled, eagerly contested teams with plenty of upside in certain players as well from both teams to get better.
Got the binoculars on, I tell you what. He was flat. He was on the ground about 5 minutes ago, Dipper. Now he's back up and about.
I watched the Wizard then in the binoculars. When the ball left the boot, he doubled over and almost got to ground level to try and angle that ball back from his vision.
Yeah.
And the body English did it, not the breeze term. From the ball up, knocked down towards Richards and Meek. Meek tried to kick it off the deck, missed it. Treloar tried a quick fire handball off. And we'll get another ball up. So Bontempelli's been on the bench for a long time as well for the Dogs.
Yeah, he hasn't had much influence, only 2 touches in this term.
I was surprised they didn't bring him on just then when there was after the goal was kicked, but they've left him on there. He's been there for, I reckon, 5 or 6 minutes. So Caleb Daniel flicks the handball out, got it to Frazier, and he's gang tackled quickly, going nowhere.
They're getting a sniff here, the Hawks.
He fumbled that lad then, Frazier.
Centre half forward for the Hawks. English won the tap. Got to get in after the footy. Liberatore knocked it. Ginnivan's having an influence. Hand passed it away. Kick from Impey. Goes to full forward. Gunston, they're dragged everywhere. Watson not paid the free kick. So on they go. McGuinness kicks it back once again. Chol! Huge fly. Should have hung on really. Out of the pack. Moore couldn't get any direction on the snap. It trickles over the boundary for a throw in.
Well, that's a shame because Marbio was in the stratosphere. He didn't take the mark, fair enough, but let's be honest, the Hawks are dominating this quarter. It's been played in their front half.
He saw Chol out of that.
Yeah. And it's another one of those pities you can't win mark of the year in a final, which is ridiculous. And the Wizard nearly got on the end of the Ginnivan handball. He didn't get it off quick enough, and we'll get another ball up. 25 metres out from the Hawthorn goal.
It's 13 inside 50s to just 5 in this term.
Meek, English got a palm on it, knocked it down. Nash ran into Daniel. McGuinness got it up to McDonald outside of the boot, top of the square. Chol down there. Good mark from Lobb again.
He's playing pretty well.
He is. That's not the same guy that used to play for those other 2 teams, or even the Dogs last year. Chip kicked to Bramble and he's got it.
What a gutsy kick.
Bramble clears the defensive 50. He needed to find Vandermeer, and he did. Vandermeer turns and goes. Ugle-Hagen's positioned forward of the middle, took the rise, didn't take the mark. Off hands out of play.
It's disappointing. He's up against Carl Amon then with the sit on him and doesn't mark it.
Well, for the match, Norton's had 3 touches, Wakeman's had 3 touches, Ugle-Hagen's had 1 touch.
And Bontempelli's still on the bench.
He's on the bench.
Out of the pack, Liberatore probes forward, but it's well cut off by Impey, who pulls it in. We're in time on of this second term. Salade seconds can be the difference between life and death. Make a difference with Salade.
The reason I mentioned Bontempelli on the bench is now's the time to get him on because the players right next to him. All the players that could come off for him are right next to him, but players now continue to name on. Has it, centre half back. Launches wide. McDonald gets there, takes the mark in front of Bramble. Hands it over to D'Ambrosio. Hawks to half forward again. Skimming ball. McGuinness collects it. Running the wrong way though. Great smother. Knocked down by Williams, but he knocked it to D'Ambrosio. Back inside 50. He's wide to Gunston. Can't get there for the half volley. And the ball knocked out by Jones. And we'll get a ball in 45 metres from the Hawthorn goal. 5-2 to 5-2. 32 apiece on the Host Plus scoreboard with 23 gone second.
If I'm Bevo, I can't be leaving Bont on the bench this long if I'm Bevo.
Unless he's injured.
Yeah, that's the only other reason.
Nick, lovely tap down to Newcomb. Curls it through for a beauty. That's a piece of art out of the forward stoppage. And do they love it? First real signs of the exuberant celebrations which have marked this rise. Hawthorn back in front. 6-2-38 to the Bulldogs. 5-2-32. It'll take some beating for the goal of the night for Corteva. Paradigm Aralex active herbicide. Reliable wide spectrum weed control in cereals.
Well, they deserve that. They have been the dominant force in this term. They could well be another couple of goals in front. But it was a terrific clearance goal. We're just having another look at where he comes from. Newcomb, he's side by side his team, his opponent, who just lets him go. But
he's kicked a few of those.
He just has to give more than that in the ruck. Tim English. He got monstered then. He just gave it. He fought for rear position and allowed Meek to take front spot and delivered it on a plate.
The Hawks bar goal. 24 gone, second term from the ruck contest. Warple going the wrong way, but he at least won it down to Amon. caught, got a handball if you want to call it that. Could have been a throw. It is a throw. So McNeil about to send the Dogs inside 50. He's got short pass targets if he wants them. He goes in the Darcy direction. Why wouldn't you? He didn't have enough on it. Caleb Daniel around his body, might kick a goal. No, it's the post.
Gee, I would have paid that, Darcy.
Yeah, so would I.
The only thing with that is umpires tend not to pay them when there's no spoil and you drop it without a really good time. If it's just your fumble...
He didn't fumble that. That was knocked out.
Do you reckon he did?
Yep. I had a good look at the replay. I'll wait for your decision at half time.
I'll go again. I'll have another look.
Replay for Repco Authorised Service, Penrite Oil, and your local Repco Authorised Service.
Ward clears the area long, but that is one back by Darcy, and there's no debating that mark. He sets the Dogs wide to half forward. Harms out against the boundary. 60 from goal to the hot spots. Bontempelli is back on the field. Jamara, unimpeded run.
Well, that was much better, and Bont's back on the ground as well, just to allay any fears of injury. But he came back to his opponent, he blocked his opponent, then he came back at the footy. This was A-grade stuff here, Derm.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, it was very good. Trying to watch where Weddle got tied up, and he was the man who should have defected.
Ugle-Hagan, he's missed from 20 metres out on a slight angle. He dabbed at it and he dragged it near side. That's a terrible miss. They're down by 4, the Dogs, for Host Plus.
It's a good description, dab. His knee was bent when he actually made contact with the ball. It was 15 out and the ball only went 15 past the post.
The point is, as you made, where was Weddle? Because Hardwick's not...
Got lost.
Aim on to D'Ambrosio to Sicily, and they're still in their defensive goal square, the Hawks. Sicily runs. Jamara didn't want to smother. He sort of let him kick it. And now Weddle, the man we've spoken of, can't mark it, but Morrison crumbs it. Got it to Hardwick, got it to Weddle. Up against the boundary, half-back flank, hits wide. McDonald should mark it. Gets there, gets it. Jones got there way late, holding...
That's a professional spoil by Liam Jones. He knew what he was doing, held up play.
And goes inside to Ward. He wants to play on. He's got McDonald on the flyby. He ignores it. He's got Marby Chol, who's still hoping to take mark of the century. And he pulls the kick short, and that is a delightful kick to Newcomb.
That is brilliant play. None of the Dogs had any concept that that's where that ball was going.
Sicily wants the drive-by easy dish off here.
So has Newcomb got this in him, Derm? He's going to kick from 52.
He's a big kick. He is a big kick. Like the way he plays, he's just powerful.
Right, so he backpedals.
He'll have to crib a bit.
27 minutes gone.
Brooksy's nervous.
In the second term. And Newcomb from outside the arc to load up and extend the margin. He's got enough on it distance-wise. Has he? Not quite. Knuckles and through for a behind. So everyone takes a little breath here, knowing there's only 2 minutes left to half-time. The Hawks are 6-3. The Dogs are 5-4. And Dale with the kick in goes wide. Duray plays on defensive 50 for the Dogs. Heads wide. Hawks have got the 2. Dogs have got the 1, and the 2 win. Thumped out. We'll get a ball in on the wing, although in some ways it's a win for the Dogs as well. Get a ball in from the kick in on the wing.
It's everything we thought it was going to be, Dwayne, isn't it? It's an absolute arm wrestle between two of the best sides in the competition. Not a lot of goals, but it's been a really entertaining first half.
And for one of them, it'll be season over tonight. Darcy got a kick away, but Sicily's been unpassable at half-back, and he takes another good grab with 1:35 left.
He's had a huge second quarter.
Sicily wants to go back to Hardwick. He does go back to Hardwick. He's got Impey in the opposite back pocket if he wants. He goes short to Newcomb, so obviously this is the ploy. Own possession a bit. Wide ball to Moore. Half-back flank. Danced around Gallagher nicely. Goes to Morrison. Hawks might have a roll of the dice left here. He's got the short on in McDonald. Takes the mark on the wing. Back to Morrison. Now to half forward. Chip kick outside of the boot to Moore. They're picking their way through them. They're not just blazing away. Almost milking the clock to have the last shot. And now he thumps it in the Chol direction. Dear Chol. Dear!
Geez, he's a talent on the rise, this bloke. He looked like he was going to have 2 or 3 games at the start of the year, just as a little dabble. But he is a powerful young man coming through. And when he goes, he just goes. Darcy's behind him. He didn't read it early enough. And this guy's just so athletic.
Yeah, he turns sideways, you lose him. He's still thin and he's still young, but he's very, very good. And with 30 seconds left on the clock, He kicks straight. Oh, and he ruffled Frazier's hair. He said, here you go, Smoking Joe Frazier. Here's a little hair ruffle for your trouble. Try and stop me in the second half. And the Hawks will lead at half-time. There's a matter of seconds left. But Hawthorn 7-3-45 to the Dogs. 5-4-34 on the Host Plus scoreboard. Here's our expert, Gerard Healy, for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts.
Well, they've owned this quarter, the Hawks, and it's only appropriate, I think, that they have got a couple of goal break on them on the scoreboard. What is it, 11 points now? Came off the back of another Sicily intercept mark. He's had 10 possessions. They've been really difficult to get past him. They missed an opportunity down at the other end of the ground with Ugle-Hagan, and then the Hawks have blasted back and kicked another goal. They're looking dangerous right now. They wouldn't want to concede another one with 37 seconds remaining.
So the ball up in the middle. Meek against Darcy. Ball knocked down. It'll be Ward with a flick handball to Newcomb. They might get the clearance here, the Hawks. Back to Ward. Kick around the body is good. Got it to Meek. Free kick's been found. Time enough for a long launch and then a mark. So Meek goes with a short kick. They do get the mark. Newcomb on the flyby, won't have the shot.
Gee.
He kicked it to the Wizard. He has the flying shot, and he kicks. It's only a behind anyway. But he would have kicked it.
He would have gone back for a set shot.
If it was a live ball.
It's a big, big half by the Hawks.
Listen to the roar. Hawthorn fans have absolutely loved it. Dogs players getting together in the middle. Hawks players getting together in the middle. Massive crowd here at the MCG. It feels like a grand final, not an elimination final. There's no tomorrow for the loser, and the winner could even go on and win the flag. 7-3-45, the Hawks, the Dogs, 5-4-34. AFL Nation coming your way thanks to the 4 and 20 Traveller and Tyre Power. The big footy final sale is on now. The halftime floor show coming up next.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Host Plus. Host Plus has been named Money Magazine's best super fund for 2024. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au.
Hi, it's Shelley Craft. For locally made gift ideas that shine like green and gold, check out Australian Made's top Aussie products, the go-to resource to find the very best Aussie-made goodies. From handcrafted homewares and accessories to innovative Aussie inventions, you'll find a top Aussie product for every occasion. Each one carries the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo, so you can be sure it's genuinely Aussie. Hop to australianmade.com.au/top Aussie and support local while you shop.
Experience the power of Milwaukee's M18 outdoor power equipment. From blowers, trimmers to lawnmowers and chainsaws, Milwaukee's outdoor power equipment meets the performance and durability needs of landscape professionals. With over 250 solutions on the one battery platform, take your battery off-site today and power a world of outdoor solutions. Explore the outdoor power equipment range at milwaukeetool.com.au. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
Hi, I'm Russell from Bunnings, and this year we're launching a new program called Home Ground Advantage. We know that sometimes the things that don't look the best can hold the most meaning. And at your local footy club, this is no different. Whether that be the weather grandstand or the change rooms where the song is sung after the match. That's why we're going to help 5 deserving clubs make what's great about their club even better, with $50,000 worth of Bunnings products and materials. Apply online today.
Hidden Gems of Melbourne. Prince Wine Store in Bank Street, South Melbourne. Wine Enthusiast magazine has voted Prince Wine Store in the top 10 iconic wine stores in the world. The only store in the Southern Hemisphere to be chosen. Up to 4,000 wine lines, all wine regions of the world, from $10 to $10,000. You'll find the perfect wine at Prince Wine Store, bringing Melburnians the greatest wine in the world, delivering Australia-wide. princewinestore.com.au.
Hiya.
Hello.
The taxi ride between client meetings. The perfect opportunity to go to bizcover.com.au to switch and save on your business insurance.
Real estate agent.
Like your professional indemnity. Because only BizCover lets you compare, save, and get instant cover online, on the go, in minutes.
I can save
$500.
What's that?
I can save $500.
Okay.
Check how much a professional like you could save on your business insurance. For on-the-go cover,
Go Biz Cover.
Golfbox is Australia's greatest golf superstore. With the biggest range of brands and best prices, you simply can't go past Golfbox for your golf gear. Whether you're just starting out or looking to better your score, Golfbox has you covered with the largest range of clubs, balls, bags, gloves, clothes, shoes, tech, accessories, and more. With PGA professionals and golf specialists for expert advice, plus lightning fast delivery Australia-wide, it's never been easier to shop for you, your family, or your mates. Shop online at golfbox.com.au and save. Golfbox, we outfit everyone.
Hi, Josh Kennedy here. Have you received an electricity or gas price increase? Or you're worried about rising energy costs? Give Red Energy a call. Their Aussie-based team will give you a no-obligation energy bill comparison, and you might be surprised by what they have to offer. Plus, Red Energy is owned by Snowy Hydro, a leader in renewable energy. Give 100% Australian-owned Red Energy a call today on 131 806 or visit redenergy.com.au. Eligibility criteria and conditions apply.
Hi, I'm with Dan Isaac from Caveat Loans Australia. Dan, what is a private caveat loan?
A private caveat loan is basically an alternative type of finance, which is much more flexible in comparison to a traditional bank, who have much more rigid credit criteria.
How hard is it to get an approval and who can apply?
Well, the good news is that almost any property or real estate owner can apply. We do not require any bank statements, no tax returns, no financials or proof of income. Best of all, your credit rating is irrelevant. Visit caveatloans.finance.
Terms, fees, conditions apply.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Repco Authorised Service, Tyre Power, Big Footy Final Sale, and 4 and 25.
Handball back in dangerous territory. Might be rushed. Might be kick off the deck. It is a kick off the deck goal for here.
Well, that was brilliant.
Wow.
The wall was well set around to the right. Williams took the mark, sold the dummy, opened the possibilities and kicked the long goal. Ripper stuff from Bailey Williams. Big lovely tap down to Newcomb, curls it through for a beauty. That's a piece of art out of the forward stoppage. And do they love it? First real signs of the exuberant celebrations which have marked this rise. Hawthorn back in front.
Macca's, I'm loving it moments. The Monopoly game at Macca's is back.
Always great to have your company on AFL Nation halftime. And it's time for the floor show. Thanks to Choices Flooring. The halftime floor show coming your way with Jared Healy next.
The Choices Flooring Halftime Floor Show. Breeze, Gennaro, and Plantino. Stylish, healthy flooring for spring.
First half highlights, by the way, for Macca's. The Monopoly game at Macca's is back. Halftime score, Hawks 7-3-45 to the Dogs 5-4-34. So it was the Dogs who led by 12 points at quarter time, led 4-1 to 2-1, and the Hawks owned the second term. Dogs only kicked one goal for that quarter. Hawks kicked 5. So halftime score is the Western Bulldogs 5-4-34. Hawks 7-3-45. Major possession winners for the Hawks. Firstly, Sicily was 16, Newcomb 15, D'Ambrosio 15, Scrimshaw 13 and Warple 12. Connor McDonald also with 12 and Lloyd Meek and Blake Hardwick both 11 each and Carl Amon 11 each. And for the Dogs, harder to find big numbers amongst the Dogs. Ed Richards had it 12 times, Liberatore 12, Bailey Williams 11 times, Caleb Daniel has had it 11 times, but Marcus Bontempelli has been a little quiet by his standards. Even Adam Treloar is a little quiet by his standards. 9 possessions to half-time for Adam Treloar. And as I scroll down, it's hard to believe Marcus Bontempelli only 6 possessions to half-time. The goal scorers to half-time as well. Cal Shadir, the only multiple. He's kicked 2-1. And one is to Bailey Williams, Nick Watson, Adam Treloar, John Newcomb, Aaron Norton, Lloyd Meek, Connor McDonald, Jack Gunston, Tim English, and Sam Darcy. As we go through the categories with our expert, Jared Healy, for MEGT. Let MEGT help you build a winning team. You've got the power play rankings at all for Red Energy, 100% Australian electricity and gas, Gerard?
Well, John Newcomb's on 69, Dwayne. He's the leader of the pack from Sicily. Not surprisingly, he's been so good across that half-back line. D'Ambrosio on the wings had 15 possessions, 9 of those being effective. McDonald, Eamon, Meek, Hardwick. I mean, you have to go all the way down to 8th position to get a Bulldog who's Sam Darcy.
Injury update for Nutrient Water, your destination for all things water. Jamari Ugle-Hagan looked to have hurt a shoulder a little bit, but he has been able to continue, and they haven't had to jump with their sub at all. So both teams still with their sub intact. Luke Bruce for the Hawks and Jack McRae for the Dogs. The crucial moment for New Farm of the first half, if you can, please, Gerard.
That's a very good question, Dwayne. The crucial moment, I think it was probably the Hawks' last goal, where they just, maybe Kelshire Deer's last goal. That might be the memorable moment, because it was quite phenomenal. But they needed something just to break the nexus, because the Dogs just couldn't get in front, and then they finally did.
Unmissable moments for Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise. Choose to drink wise, our unmissable moment of the game so far. Who's making it look easy? Kick off your next painting project with Monarch. Painting made easy, available at Bunnings Warehouse.
Well, the skipper for the Hawks, along with Jack Scrimshaw, they are just dominating across that half-back line. I've liked Scrimshaw's game with 13 possessions, hitting plenty of targets, 5 contested, but Sicily without question in that term. They needed someone to stand up, and I mean the Bulldogs just could not get the ball inside their forward 50, mainly because Sicily kept on marking it.
Got a best defender for Tridecton. I thought so. 3-way Moxie Decton Sheep Drench. Our best defender so far, James Sicily. Our player of the first half for TR Group, Commercial Truck and Trailer Rentals and Lease.
I'm going to go with Scrimshaw, Dwayne. Okay. I just think he's won the ball back, and he has distributed it really well. Lloyd Meek, I've also liked his game, but he's having a pretty good battle with Tim English, who full back in that first quarter with a goal. But Lloyd Meek, I've liked his game. He also kicked an early goal.
And our crucial moment for New Farm through and through.
You got one?
Oh, well, I did like Nick Watson kicking a goal, kicking one straight.
Yes.
So we'll give that to Nick Watson, because if he's going to be kicking straight, he's going to be a hell of a lot better player than if he's going to be kicking points like he did for the first half of this season. And when he gets cranking, I reckon the Wizard might have 1 or 2 more goals in him for the rest of the game. Our clanger for Amy. When clangers happen, it's lucky you're with Amy.
I think that goes to Ugle-Hagan. It was, I mean, you just don't miss those goals if you're a $1 million player.
That's a good point. I'm kind of thinking the umpire went down as well at one stage, but he bounced up pretty well. He put himself at full forward.
Yeah,
for about
didn't kick any goals, but he actually instructed well.
Went all the way down to the goal screen, just stood there for a minute and a half and got his composure back. Lucky you're with Amy. Our clanger for Amy. When clangers happen, it's lucky you're with Amy. Our finals presenting partner is Caveat Loans. Dan Isaac at caveatloans.finance. Common sense lending without the red tape. Caveatloans.finance. That was the Choices Flooring Halftime Floor Show. Choices Flooring, stylish and healthy. Second half not far away from getting underway here at the MCG in this elimination final between the Dogs and the Hawks. Dogs led at quarter time by 12 points. Hawks lead at halftime by 11. 7-3-45 to the Dogs. 5-4-34. Second half coming up on AFL Nation next.
You're listening to AFL Nation. For Repco authorised service, Tyre Power, Big Footy Final Sale, and 4 and 20 pies.
Step up to the next generation of professional power tools with Makita XGT 40 volt and 80 volt max. Experience premium professional power with cordless convenience that's setting new benchmarks in performance and efficiency. Makita's XGT offers limitless professional power, reliability and runtime. XGT simply outpowers, outsmarts and outlasts the rest. When power means business, choose Makita XGT. It's power without limits.
I want my Makita back. Nothing says modern farming quite like the Deutz-Fahr Warrior Series of tractors. Ranging from 170 to 350 horsepower, the Warrior Series lets you experience farming at full power. Available in a range of specifications with no AdBlue or DPF, the Warrior is your ultimate farming partner. To find your nearest stockist or to view the range, visit deutzfahr.com.au. The Deutz-Fahr Warrior Series. Unearth a legend.
With a growing family, life changes, and sometimes that means your home needs to change too. Duncan Thompson Extensions are a trusted family business that's been extending homes for over 40 years and recognise what's most important for you. From concept to completion, Duncan Thompson Extensions plan, design and extend your home to match your life. Sign up now and make 2025 the year your home becomes perfect for your family. It's good to be home. Visit duncanthompson.com.au.
The NBL is what dreams are made of. Greatness is within reach. No limits, only endless possibilities.
Chris Golding is the face of Melbourne United. A three-time NBL champion, CG43 is a club fan favourite who broke records last season for three-pointers in the 40-minute era. The big question is, who will be able to stop him at the three-point line this season?
Watch live on ESPN, available via KO and Foxtel, and Sundays via 10 and 10 Play. NBL, we dream big.
If I asked you to go outside now, grab a shovel and hack through your internet or water connection, would you do it? Of course not. It'd cost you a fortune to fix, plus being without internet or water for hours or days would drive you mad. Yet digging without searching before you dig online first is a gamble. Or worse, if you strike a gas or electricity main. Before every job, search before you dig online every time. And never dig blind.
Catch up on all the latest scores and news.
Collingwood take the final step on the stairway to premiership heaven.
In the time it takes to get from the car park to the office with SEN's The Day's Play.
In Adelaide, Team Ripper GC take out the title. Loose ball goes to Rankin. Oh, he's a magician.
Our team go over the big matches and big moments.
Ty Webster, he suits the bench to Tasmania.
SEN's The Day's Play. Thanks to Drinkwise. If you're choosing to have a drink, choose to Drinkwise.
When you walk into OMF, it's okay to close your eyes. We encourage it, in fact, because all we're suggesting is after you've looked somewhere else, check out our signature range of mattresses, or even OMF's best value bed-in-box mattresses. Come and have a lie down. Simply see how you feel, and then open your eyes and look at the price. You might just see that you'll be 100% comfy.
Before we run out on the field, our skipper knows exactly what to say to get our heads in the game. But when it comes to preparing our muscles for performance, we can always count on Deep Heat to have our backs. Nothing beats the iconic smell of the locker room and that winning feeling you get after a Deep Heat massage. Fast, targeted pain relief from an iconic brand you know and trust. Deep Heat. Feel it work. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
You're listening to AFL Nation for Repco authorised service, Tyre Power, Big Footy Final Sale, and 4 and 25.
A 5-goal-to-1 second term has the Hawks leading at half-time by 9 points, 7-3-45 to the Bulldogs, 5-4-34. That'd be 11 points, wouldn't it, rather than 9?
11.
11, yes.
Sometimes if you look at it too hard, you second guess yourself.
TAC, stop kidding yourself. If you drink, don't drive. Dermot Brereton, add your thoughts to those of Jared Healy.
So my feeling is that there is still the grind left in this game. The Dogs will be in there at halftime believing if the grind can still happen for 40 minutes, somewhere into halfway into that final quarter, Jared, somebody will break. If you hold the grind up to them and you're prepared to just give everything you've got. The Dogs have looked like they've lacked a little bit of polish using the ball around the ground in the second quarter. They allowed Hawthorn by handball to break back into the spine of the ground where they had players coming through. They allowed some one-on-one wins ahead of the footy. We saw the goal from Gunston was the 2 wins. I think it was Ginnivan before him and Margaret, and they rolled and played on. We've seen them use the ball a little bit better. So up until about the 10-minute mark of that second quarter, the Dogs closed space on Hawthorn and didn't allow them overlap run, didn't allow them to play on and utilise run from behind. And that worked for them when they played into that game, and then they went and expressed themselves the other way. They just couldn't find enough aerial winners ahead of it. So they've got to get in there, reconfigure it and say, right, we've got to get somebody who can catch the ball in the forward half of the ground, because if this game keeps going the way it is, they won't win unless they have somebody, as we said before the game, marks the ball inside their forward 50. It looked like Darcy on occasions. It looked like Ugle-Hagan for one, but then he shanks the kick.
Well, the magic number, though, Dermot, is 50, and that is 50 inside 50s for the Western Bulldogs. They have been able to generate more inside 50s than any other club, and the Hawks have so far kept them to 19.
And 28 themselves.
28 themselves. I mean, they are getting a domination in the territory game, and they're doing that...
Not off the back of stoppage either.
No, but they're doing it in some respects, the Bulldogs, by self-immolating, because Treloar, who would kick the ball inside forward 50 a lot of times, he's only had it 9 times. The Bont's not being tagged. He's had 6 possessions. It's almost unbelievable.
I'm worried that he's not fully fit.
Yeah, well, that may be the case.
But so they're plus 11 for clearances, and yet they've only gone inside forward 50 19 times, I think it was, you said.
I mean, there are some serious concerns about the way they're moving the ball, the Western Bulldogs. I love the pressure. I love the fact that they're smothering their handballs a hell of a lot. Hawthorn. They've got one guy, Dylan Moore, who's an All-Australian. He's only had the ball 6 times, so there's an upside for him. But Ugle-Hagan 2, Waitman 3, Norton, who got the first kick of the game, basically, he's only had it 3 other times. They're 3 go-tos up in the forward line, and they just haven't got near it.
So we see at the other end, they probably would be 4 goals down, maybe even more, the Dogs. I didn't believe I'd say that this season, if not for Rory Lobb.
Yep. Big lift in the middle required from the Dogs.
So here we go. For one of these two teams, it'll be season over in 2 quarters of football from now. Bounce to restart it. Second half underway. Meek against English. Meek gets the clearance. Handed it up to Newcomb, and they're out the front. Kick in the child direction. Jones got there late. Gunston got there later. Jones did well. Got it to Lobb. Hands to the Bond. Got a quick fly handball. Picked off by Ginnivan. Flicked it up towards Nash. Back to Warple. Gee, they're on here. Warple from 50. He launches long. Goal square. Deer had a little piece of it, but not enough.
Yeah, it was a wrong decision by Warple. There were about 2 or 3. You could have just short kicked it to, like Geelong did every time last night, rather than going for the blaze.
He had that little bit moment of adrenaline, didn't he? Yeah.
It's hurt them, because that was a great start by Hawthorn.
Blood rule. 12 on the Host Plus scoreboard.
That on Chol, is it?
Yeah, blood rule, is it?
Yeah,
Jack Gunston's been led to the ball too often. He's just got to read it a little bit better.
Good eye for Chol.
Come to the bench for Spitwater. High pressure. Washers get tidied up.
Through the eyebrow.
The side. And a good corner man. Bramble with footy in hands. Takes off out of the goal square. Kicks for distance up the near side. Darcy's his target. Pushed away by Frost. Legally.
God, wicked, Jared.
It's embarrassing.
Took the mark. Pops it up inside 50. He'll take some marking. Dale in defence is able to do that. Oh, he's going to be run down by Watson. He's behind you.
He got there quick, though, didn't he? What did the Indigenous have? They had Kaditcha boots, which no one could hear the Kaditcha man. He was silent when he crept up on him, and he's got awesome closing speed. Same spot, same other end of the ground from where he kicked a goal in the second quarter.
Left of centre, 45-degree angle, a step or 2 inside the 50. Nick Watson has met this challenge once. He veers out to the right. Watson unloads. Oh, it's a breath short. They're calling it as a behind. I reckon it'll all go to the score review. $30 off for 6 months with Mate Internet. And they're just going to wave the flag and see it through for a behind. Hawks by 13.
Bramble handles from full back and almost turns it over. A hand on it from Morrison, not to Newcomb, got it to Impey, back to Newcomb, chips inside 50 to Deer, or Deer takes the mark, front spot. I thought he held it long enough. The umpire said, yes, you did.
Well, this is just a continuation of the domination by Hawthorn. The game is being played in their front half. This kid, Kelsey Deer, has just snuck up on everybody through the season, and he's having a big influence tonight.
Have a look on the replay here. O'Donnell runs around him, circumnavigates his body, and that's the first thing you've got to learn as a forward. What hand does my opponent spoil with? O'Donnell came from the side where it should have been a left-handed spoil, runs around the back of him for the right-hand spoil, doesn't get there.
From 45 out, 45-degree angle, and it's hit the post.
Well, he didn't kick that through that one like he did the first couple.
So, Dogs breathe a sigh of relief. 5-4 to 7-6. That's the score. 48 to 34.
Kicking was short. Bontempelli picked it up off his laces, gave it back to Dale. His problem, slapped away by Warple. Ball in dispute. Treloar onto it. Liberatore's been hunted. Hand passed up in the air. Norton into a dead end. Dropped it. Holding the ball. The Hawks have the Dogs in their sights.
Have they what? The pressure is awesome. The Dogs are trying to invent things to get themselves going, and yet they just can't penetrate this defence.
So Gunston's got lob. He'll try and take him away from the drop of the ball, allow Deer a jump.
Morrison to a big pack. Meek got hands to it. They fight underneath. Ginnivan keeps it alive. Meek handed it to Watson. He's straight into the tackle of Dale. It'll need to be balled up top of the goal square.
Now, this is spot on where Tim English has to be physical against Big Lloyd Meek. Otherwise, he's going to put it down somebody's throat 12 metres out.
Sets himself. English won the tap down underneath. Newcomb is the last to hold the footy. Try again.
You mentioned big pack. There's more in it than there is waiting out of it. So Meek knocks it down to Deer. Couldn't quite get a kick away. Treloar's got it. Gave it up. Dale hurries it away. Impey's about to get it. Got it on 50. Flicks a handball up and straight to Caleb Daniel. He was hammered as he got the kick away, but bumped, not tackled. McDonald goes inboard. Got it to Newcomb. 45 out. Got a long launch on it to the goal square. Up against the grain. Gunston kicked off the deck by Deer. He hasn't, has he?
Touched, I think.
Oh, hit the post again. Hit the post with his last two shots.
Well, the footy gods only give you so many shots.
That's right.
You've got to make them count.
Exactly.
Why don't they give this ball to Bailey Dale to kick out, although they're going with a lobster?
7-7 to 5-4.
He went for a torpedo.
Great
landed with Bontempelli.
Great result.
Bontempelli links it up to Bramble on the flyby. Kicks it straight to Weddle, who dropped the mark. Ugle-Hagen's trying to feed it up. He's taken to ground by Frost. Throw it in.
Well, they were lucky there, the Western Bulldogs. They got away with a couple, and the Hawks may be ruining this last few minutes where they've had them on toast, and they haven't been able to put them away.
4 behinds for New Farm. Australian through and through crucial moments. 15-point lead. Morrison at the source. He's tackled by a couple. Got it to his boot. Liberatore, though, onto the crumb. Kicks it to the boundary. Landed on the paint. Throw it in. Oh, insufficient intent.
Yeah, so that's stiff.
It's the Dogs either way.
That is stiff.
Give it up.
That's what I'm saying. You've got to have a left foot. Not cutting you any slack because you don't have one.
Impey with the resulting free kick. Goes backwards to Weddle, who works it around to Newcomb. Newcomb has the pass on to Nash. Nash will complete the transfer to the near side for Hardwick. At the defensive 50, he works it on to D'Ambrosio. Moore's waving him on like the third base coach. Delivers it up. Aim on inside to Sicily. Precise kicking. Sicily takes his chance deep. Deer is lurking. Spoils are made. Watson underneath. Hand pass to Gunston. Hand pass to McDonald. Walk in goal.
Play of the night.
That has been building. The Hawks are out to a 21-point lead.
They were unchallenged, Jared, from the moment they accepted the ball in the opposite back pocket, traversed the ball across the ground, retained possession by kicking skills. And as this game gets more fatigue into it, the team that spots the target better is going to be in the box seat, and that was the Hawks on that play.
Well, we're just watching a Hawthorn game at the present time. They are playing their game, and the Dogs, they're basically observing. There's nothing that resembles Western Bulldogs footy at the present time. They're not winning clearance, they're not winning transition, they're not getting the ball inside their forward 50. They are getting their pants pulled down, and they're getting a nice old spanking at the moment.
Post plus scoreboard, Hawks 8-7-55, Bulldogs 5-4-34. We've got 8 minutes of the third term.
That was a coast-to-coast goal, Hawthorn style, eh? That was just a joy to watch. And Newcomb is a joy to watch at the moment. Gets the clearance, got it to Warple, knocked it to half forward, even though he didn't collect it. Chance for Treloar, feeds it wide. Fraser, little fumble, knocks it back to Dale. Lends a hand, gives it back towards Treloar. He's being hunted down by McGuinness, and he got it to the boundary, ball in. They can smell some blood here, Hawthorn. They lead 8-7 to 5-4, as Gerard mentioned, on the Host Plus scoreboard. And Makita XGT 40-volt max clock says 8 gone in this third, and this packed crowd are watching a Hawthorn display to behold.
Or hacks it out of midair after the ruckman missed it. Lobb keeps it away from Deere, got it back to the boundary.
So this is when the Dogs should make their move. Meek's having a breather, which means Nash goes onto the ball as the ruckman, and that's when I reckon that it should be Bontempelli go on to the ball, but he's not. He's staying forward, so clearly he's been carrying something in.
Darcy and Nash. Nash actually got his hand to it. Dale absorbed the tackle, and 3 of them came to him. Pull it up. 52 from the Hawthorn goal. Ruck nullified. Ginnivan trying hard underneath. Daniel did enough to prevent him. Up she goes again. 50 out from the Hawthorn goal. Nash is doing pretty well. Liberatore, though, wins it underneath. Gave it to Daniel. Squirts the kick for Bontempelli. Couldn't take the mark. Ugle-Hagan tackled to ground by Sicily. Sicily couldn't quite prevent the hand pass, though. Jamara got it to Richards. Richards blazes up inside the 50. Norton stood underneath. Did he do enough? Umpire said no. Hardwick hand passes. Frost knocks it on. And against the boundary, Impey kept it alive where most wouldn't have. Scrimshaw and Frost and Ginnivan got to get out of it. Ward kicks down the wing. They are out of it. Lobb, though, stands underneath and wins it right back for the Dogs.
Maybe they should send Lobb forward. He's catching the ball pretty well. He might be an option.
Not a bad call.
Fraser inside 50. Well, that works to McNeil, and he'll have a shot from 48 out, directly out.
Only trouble with that theory, Dwayne, they've only gone inside forward 51 time once in this term, and the Hawks have gone in 6.
At some stage you're going to have to roll that dice. But at the moment, if he's not in the back line, Hawthorn are going to mark the ball in front of goals.
So who would have thought we're talking about the lobster as if we need 2 of them.
So McNeil from 50, from the arc. It's sailing. It looks okay. It doesn't look okay enough.
You can't buy one, the Dogs.
So 5-5 to 8-7. Hawthorn lead. 11 gone, third term. Host Plus scoreboard, and it's curtains for the loser tonight.
Amon leaves the defensive goal square, has a bounce, kicks it out to Scrimshaw.
You've just got to feel there's something wrong with the Bont. They kept him on the bench for a long time in the second term, and now he's forward.
Scrimshaw inboard to Newcomb, big switch across the field, awkward ball. Hardwick handled it pretty well. Got his kick long down the line. It'll land on the wing. Moore was taken high by Dale. That's how the umpire saw it. Moore's ball at halfway. Swarm of players get forward of him.
Other 2 goals, this could be over at 3/4 time.
Moore gives ground to Frost.
Yeah, he can't run the ball. Look at him.
It's to half-back for Hardwick. Out the near side. Amon with footy in hand. He's got a couple of leads coming at him. He's bitten off the most difficult kick. Chol leads up. Didn't mark. O'Donnell wins the contest. Then ran flat bang into McDonald. Ball up.
So Bontempelli's still forward. The runner came out to him a few moments ago and almost, I thought, told him to get on the ball, but he hasn't. And he's almost tagging Sicily at times at the moment as well. So Warple dumped into the deck. Couldn't get it away. Umpire circling. It'll probably be another ball up here on the wing.
Well, Sicily will take that if the Bont is going to play forward and not chase him out.
So they are side by side now. Bontempelli at half forward, Sicily at half back, and again the scramble. Nash not breaking free of Waitman. 12 gone, third term. This amazing Hawthorn story might continue deep into the finals the way it's transpiring now. D'Ambrosio to Newcomb, got it up to Amon, sends it long. It's wide. It's at Gunston. He can't get there. And Deere has plucked that from nowhere.
Look in, son.
Up against the boundary. That was out of play and not his for all money. And yet from 4 deep, he got there, raked it in with one paw. And if he kicks this from the boundary from 45, they'll go crazy here.
This is a Luke Hodge pocket, isn't it?
It is. Has he got this kick in him? From 48. Drop punt.
Oh,
Goal.
no, yeah.
The deer in the spotlight. How good's this kid? He's got 3. 13 minutes gone, third term, and the Hawks are flying. 9-7-61 to 5-5-35.
It's a special moment, that one. The mark was magnificent. The goal was probably slightly better, but it was just 2 fantastic individual efforts by the one man.
Do we want to add a bit of spice to it? I reckon the second grab might have been over the line.
I reckon good story with the truth term.
Geez, the kick was good.
It was good.
It was gun barrel straight.
Good to see the drop punt's not dead.
Doing well, isn't it? The what?
The drop punt's not dead.
Yeah.
6 in a row. 26-point lead. Host Plus scoreboard. It's now or never for the Dogs. Liberatore in the middle, feeds the hand pass out near English, didn't take clean possession. Knocked away of Warple, kept the hands free. Liberatore got pushed in the back. No, umpire said he just got taken to ground. It's a ball up.
Yeah, the Bont's back in the middle as well. It's like you can try and win the game with the Bont forward, but if the ball's not going in there, good luck.
Neek wins a clean tap. It actually ricocheted back to English. Kick went nowhere. Ginnivan slipped the hand pass in close to Ward. Delivers beyond halfway. O'Donnell half-volleyed himself. Fraser led a hand. Good hand pass to English. Off to Bramble. Got his kick away in the nick of time. He rolls out to the near wing. Weddle won the contest. Hand pass back inboard. Gives it to McDonald. Good evasive action. Ward and McDonald share it. McDonald gets his kick away. Ginnivan gives Chol right of way. It landed between them. Ginnivan onto the loose ball. 40 out.
Well
shares it superbly. Watson marks it full forward.
Brilliant stuff from Ginnivan. He could have gone the glory, but what he did, he went team, and gave it to Nick Watson.
The remarkable thing is, as well, Jared, there was genuine confusion between Ginnivan and Chol at the outset, and it kind of worked for them.
I reckon Chol was confused, but Ginnivan wasn't.
Ginnivan was giving him right away.
I reckon Ginnivan was saying, I reckon you're going to mess this up, and then I'll get it.
Wizard hats at the ready. Watson. It hasn't been elementary for him throughout the year from here. He takes his moments and he meets it. And the Hawks are out beyond the 5-goal threshold. And right now they look irrepressible. 10-7-67 Hawthorn to the Bulldogs 5-5-35. Middle stages of the third term. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies for Tyre Power, Big Footy final sale, and for Repco authorised service.
So, Jared, sometimes we say you've got to roll the dice at three-quarter time, and that's when you pull your moves. If they give up one more in the last 10 minutes of this third quarter, the quarter's only halfway over. If they give up one, maybe even two more, this game's too late at three-quarter time to throw it into chaos and throw your lob forward or do something drastic so Hawthorn go, what the hell, where's that come from?
Well, it feels like it's too late right now. Treloar's come onto the ground. The Bont's gone off the ground. The magic number was 50. They had to keep it in the lefts and 50 inside 50s. It's 21 only for the Dogs.
Oh, and out of the middle straight away, Ward. The Dogs are at breaking strain. Hawthorn to Gunston. Can't mark it. Chol gets the step away. Oh my goodness. That was the easiest one.
Just doesn't quite work for Mario. Geez, he's looked dangerous, but there was a handball on he didn't give. But nevertheless, another centre clearance. The Bont on the middle, on the bench.
53-point margin. Fraser got the kick in, ran into a dead end, just kept himself sufficiently clear, and his kick's a good one to Jones.
Is that Brooksy groaning in the background?
Centre half back, he spreads out the far side. Mark taken by O'Donnell, delivers long to half forward. Williams marks for the Dogs. He will roll and go and give the forwards a look. Jamara sets himself. Hardwick, English came back with the flight. Harms got dragged off it. Frost kick, no good. Straight to Norton. Shot at goal coming.
It's a must. An absolute must for Aaron Norton. Good pressure on the kicker. They just fluffed the line. The Hawks kicking that out. Didn't get enough purchase on it. Didn't keep it boundary side enough. And Aaron Norton sitting there waiting as an intercept.
I think the first goal of the game, Aaron Norton. Barely been sighted since. Angle to the left. 45 out. Norton strikes it. Pure. And the Dogs peg one back. What Scholl missed at one end when it might have been 38 is converted by Norton at the other, and it's 27. 6-5-41 to Hawthorn, 10-8-68 on the Host Plus scoreboard.
It's the first time they've had a little bit of overlap when they changed that ball back into the centre of the ground off the back flank. And then I think it was Fraser's kick. So youngster coming in. How many games has that lad played? He's only in game 13.
It was a good kick, wasn't it?
Yeah, yet he's the one who took the risk.
Yep.
Other than that, they've lacked imagination in their ball movement, apart from quick flow, run past, receive handball in the early stages of this game.
You could hear the Dog fans saying, no, not yes. It was the perfect kick. And you're right, Jared. Is Marbia Chol's miss going to be a little bit of a game changer in this? The clearance has got to be huge, and the Hawks get it. Ward to Newcomb to Morrison. Heads out wide. Marbia Chol on the lead. Gets there late. Got to spill down to the deck. Fraser again clean-handed. Got it to Richards. Got it to Treloar. Hunted down by Nash. Dispossessed. No free kick for holding the ball. Little chip kick to the middle of the ground to English is delightful. So English can go. He's got plenty of targets. Got Daniel wide. He goes inside to McNeil. Hands it off. Chip kick. Dale is just overcooked a little. Waitman gets his moment. He's got it, but they've got him. Weddle picks it off. Gave it to Newcomb. Hunted down by McNeil. No free kick. Amon comes up with it to D'Ambrosio. Dogs a little bit to their right. Gunston, great hands on the wing. Outmarks Jones.
Well, they've lifted the Dogs, but so too have the Hawks. Have responded.
Gunston up to Watson. Kicks on the 45. He hung it up high. Good spoil made by Duray. Back to the wing. Dogs outnumbered though. D'Ambrosio worked it around. Gunston, Watson, D'Ambrosio and Weddle. Lovely kick on the inboard. Ward, horrible kick on the inside.
Had to try it. Had to take it.
Richards into the middle. Treloar in the contest. Couldn't mark. Ground ball to be won. Scrimshaw knocked off it. Newcomb tidies up for him. Gives it to Hardwick. Links it up to Sicily. The Hawks hold up. They play to the far side for Moore. Watches it come over his shoulder. And then he bounds into open space. Has a bounce. Kicks it up into the pocket. Too wide and out on the full.
That's just a nothing kick. That's just a bloke who's overestimating his capacity there. That was just horrible.
And Marcus Bontempelli's still on the bench again, so there's got to be an issue. This is crazy stuff if there's not an issue. So short to Daniel, half-back, back pocket really, as he holds it up. Darcy about to come back on, so they've gone a little smaller. Bontempelli off, Darcy off. Daniel has a bounce. Watson comes at him and he hits him late. English on the wing, out marked by Scrimshaw. Great hands.
Hell of a game.
See, that's Norton, Ugle-Hagan cannot allow that to happen. That's so disappointing by them.
Opens it up to Hardwick, and he goes to Moore out of sight, and they are playing the game on their terms. Hawthorn, they lead 10-8 to 6-5.
More beyond halfway to for Morrison, patrolling the worn wing, and Chol on the long leads. Chol's going to wind it up inside 50. Made shocking contact. It skids across.
I reckon he had a guilty conscience. I reckon he marked the ball over the line. It wasn't paid.
And gave something back.
And he gave it back. He was continually waiting for the umpire to pull him up.
I'll tell you what he did do. If he did mean that, it's a very clever kick because it makes a stoppage inside forward 50 for the Hawks.
Right on the arc as it's tossed into play. Meek planted himself in front. There's no moving him when he does that. Knocked it down. Liberatore first access to Treloar. There's a free kick.
A throw?
Oh, right. Against Treloar. Nash's ball.
It might have even been Libba.
Okay. So Nash has a look to full forward. He's kicked for Gunston. English got back, brought it to ground. McDonald ran straight into the McDonald tackle.
Oh, that's kind.
I reckon the two umpires were looking at each other.
Yeah, didn't want to pay it.
And thought, yeah, pay that? Might not either.
No, 2 sticks.
So English knocks it down. Meek went and got it. It's about 30 out from the Hawthorn goal. McDonald around his body. They are at breaking. No, they're not. Wow. So they missed a couple of chances here.
Putting God's weight in.
Maybe. So Chol and now McDonald missed chances. 10-9 to 6-5. 23 gone third term, or more importantly, 5 left in the third.
2-on-1
3
again.
goals, 5 in it. Treloar long on the way out. Jared saw it 2-on-1 against. So the Hawks have it. Scrimshaw and Hardwick can't make much of it as the reinforcements arrive. Warple's there to lend a hand. He got dragged off it as well.
Bontempelli to full forward.
Okay, a bit messy over the boundary. Boundary throw incoming. Splitwater high pressure washes over on the Warren wing. Hawks by 28 points. We've crossed into time on for Selade. Seconds can be the difference between life and death. Make a difference with Selade. Underneath, not much initially to tell as the ball is held up on the logo.
AFL Nation for 420 pies and for Tyre Power. Big footy final sale on now. So late stages of this third. Sicily at half-back, gets on the end of it. Go over to Scrimshaw, goes all the way back to Frost at full-back with the kick. And Frosty, a little dangerously, got fingertips, got it to Ward, got it to Impey. Handball too slick. Vandermeer a chance, but Warple got there first. Flick up from Impey was good. Got it to Ward, back to Impey. Lays a tackle on McNeil. And it's held up just the Dogs' side of the middle of the ground. 10-9 to 6-5.
Dogs did well to hold them up there. That handball had been a little bit more advantageous. They're off and away through the middle.
Western Bulldogs 4 inside 50s to 12 in this turn.
Wow. Nash, the source, does all the hard work. Liberatore ended up feeding up. There's an ankle tap, and it's a Hawthorn free
Goes
kick.
to Meek. Yeah, he played for that, Meek.
Yeah, Bontempelli went down on one knee, so Meek ran over him.
Yep.
Meek slips the hand pass to Weddle. Kicks it out the near side. Mark taken by Impey. D'Ambrosio's desperate for it. It's a hand pass to reach him. Ginnivan's on over the top, but he might give it back to Impey on its way there. Hand pass in close. Clever by Warple. Just ducked his way clear. Gave it to D'Ambrosio. Kicks for Chol. Ball comes to ground. O'Donnell dispossessed by Ginnivan. Ground ball to be won. Watson conjured it. Sweeps the hand pass inboard. Ward pulls the kick. Hawks have got a nest. And Moore takes the mark.
That was brilliant by Watson. The way he trapped that and was able to knock the ball onto advantage. Sometimes you just look at the stat sheet, and we look at the stat sheet because we're in a rush to get information out, the HSLLs I might add, and we just look at those basic ones, but you won't see that on the stat sheet.
Need one true kick here. Dylan Moore directly in front, 30 outs. No, that's not it. He's dragged it near side. So the litany of lost chances in this third term grows as 29-point margin.
And they've jumped with their subs. So Vandermeer out. McRae on for the Dogs. And McRae's about to go at this. Sicily got there from 4 deep and fisted it out of play on the wing, and will get a ball in.
Third quarter, 3 goals, 6 for the Hawks. The Dogs have kicked 1 goal, 1.
So Bontempelli hasn't been subbed out, so he's fit enough to play full forward, but not fit enough to be on the ball by the looks of things. And it's hard to...
4 inside 50s when the final, the season's on the line. They're being flogged.
So Meek knocks it down. Newcomb got on the end of it. Wheels his way around the traffic. Heads toward Deere, who's been spectacular. Lob side by side with him. Drops the mark. Deere wraps him up. Umpire says, I will have it. And the Hawks, there's still a bit of time to elapse here. They're a quarter and 3 minutes away from advancing. If the Dogs don't lift their rate, they're a quarter and 3 minutes away from done.
Warple at the source, off to Moore, on to Nash, up to full forward. Chol coming out, O'Donnell came with him, lob across the front. Ball though, with McGuinness, almost not quite enough on it. It got to the goal line, it was going through all right. Williams rushes it. It is 5 goals neat, the margin.
So that was 7-3 at halftime, Hawthorn. They're 10-11 now. And the Dogs are 6-5 for the record. And Dale knows that he needs to find a target. It's Norton he goes for. Meek got there, knocked it down. Good Crum O'Donnell, got it to Duray, but he's going backwards, not forwards. He bounced past it to O'Donnell. He got under the kick. It's a horrible kick. It's a beautiful kick. If you're a Hawk.
Yeah, but he looked down the line and James Sicily had made his way to the wing by himself. And that's why, was it Duray who turned back inboards? Then he thought, if I kick it down, he's coming back with interest.
Ginnivan short after it was deemed on the full. So the smother hit the leg but not the ball. So it wasn't touched out of play. It was out on the full. Bontempelli's drifted back to half back to fill a hole. Top of the square kick. Will Chol get up? Oh, you bet he will. But he can't mark it. Liberatore picked his pocket. Thumps it back out. Weddle with a big fist knocks it down. Williams for the Dogs gets it. Gave to Treloar on defensive 50. He looks up and goes long to Bontempelli. Darcy, Bontempelli, Scrimshaw almost beat the lot of them. Does beat the lot of them. Got it back to Harvick. Got it back to Impey. Dances one way then the other. No smother on the kick. Sizzles it wide towards Morrison. He's got a couple of options, including Scrimshaw on the flyby with the second possession. And he goes short to Meek, and they are playing with them, Hawthorn.
Meek around the perimeter, finds Newcomb, searching for a target inside 50. He liked the look of Chol on the lead. It was never on. Duray fills the hole and takes the intercept. Duray across the face of goal. He's missed Fraser. It's over the top of him, and it bounces out of play.
Just sitting back watching Hawthorn play, it's like watching 15 Sam Mitchells. That's how they play. There's a couple of tall Sam Mitchells out there. There's some fast Sam Mitchells, but they all play the same way. Left and right, short, quick hands.
Left forward pocket for the Hawks. Norton's doing the ruck work. Got it down. McRae to Fraser. Cleared the area, but not for long. Batted right back. It lands with Newcomb, who kicks to the fat side, and arriving is Watson.
Well, you know you're going well when that one hits the target.
They've taken over in clearances as well, the Hawks.
It's actually been a total pole action, really.
I'm just disappointed in English. He's an All-Australian ruckman and he's been pantsed tonight. So much so that you're having to go with Norton or Darcy in the ruck against Meek. And when Meek comes off, that's when Tim English goes back on the ball.
Nick Watson is kicking for a 6-goal lead on the breath of three-quarter time. Watson has done it. They'll be something to run down now. 36-point leaders and in total control, Hawthorn. 11-11, 77 to the stagnant Dogs, 6-5-41. There's 18 seconds remaining on the Makita XGT 40 VMAX clock.
I spoke before at half-time. The grind, Jared.
Yep.
I reckon they've broken them.
Yeah, they have.
They cannot run through the lines. Somebody will break to run out wide to receive the ball, but they never run on for the secondary possession from the Dogs. They've broken their will to run hard and defend, run hard and attack. So
beaten them in every element, though. The contest, 51-75. The ground ball, 37-47. Pre and post clearance there on top.
Bounce back in for this clearance, then he'll drift forward.
He's only got 18 seconds, so he might as well be in there for this. And Norton's doing the ruck work against Meek. And Meek wins it. Gave it to Newcomb. They're not done here, Hawthorn. They could add another. McInnes nearly a chance. Nearly marked it at centre-half forward. Dale goes back, gets it. Weaves his way through traffic. Got it to Treloar. Seconds tick down. Norton out wide. Got it to Williams. Needs to hit a long target. He hits a short target, Vandermeer. And the three-quarter time siren sounds. And listen to the Hawk fans. What are we seeing here with this Hawthorn team? What a phenomenal year it's been. And by the signs of things tonight, it ain't done. They might go deep, deep, deep into September, and they lead at three-quarter time 11-77 to 6-5-41.
Multiple goal kickers, 3 for Watson, 3 for Deere, and 2 for McDonald, while Norton has 2 for the Dogs. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies for Tyre Power, Big Footy Finals sale, and for Repco authorised service.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Host Plus. Host Plus has been named Money Magazine's best super fund for 2024. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au.
At Amy, we know when our game has its moments. Like when you're playing in Whoop Whoop. The only park left is behind the goal square. You get heat rub in your eye. When your banner has a typo. The scoreboard doesn't add up. You lose a boot. And the match winner misses everything except your windshield. It's lucky you're with Amy. Before buying comprehensive car insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Lucky you're with Amy. In construction, civil works, mining, agriculture or heavy haulage and looking at the next big project? Don't let paperwork or big upfront costs slow you down. With Yellowgate, you don't have to choose between hiring and buying machinery. Our Rent Now, Buy Later solution lets you rent the gear you need today before deciding what's best for tomorrow. Enjoy manageable monthly rental payments, operational efficiency and better cash flow management. Join the other Australian businesses already using Yellowgate. Visit ygg.com.au.
Experience the power of Milwaukee's M18 outdoor power equipment. From blowers, trimmers to lawnmowers and chainsaws, Milwaukee's outdoor power equipment meets the performance and durability needs of landscape professionals. With over 250 solutions on the one battery platform, take your battery off-site today and power a world of outdoor solutions. Explore the outdoor power equipment range at milwaukeetool.com.au. Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty.
Step up to the next generation of professional power tools with Makita XGT 40 volt and 80 volt max. Experience premium professional power with cordless convenience that's setting new benchmarks in performance and efficiency. Makita's XGT offers limitless professional power, reliability and runtime. XGT simply outpowers, outsmarts and outlasts the rest. When power means business, choose Makita XGT. It's power without limits.
I want my Makita back.
Hi, it's Shelley Craft. For locally made gift ideas that shine like green and gold, check out Australian Made's top Aussie products, the go-to resource to find the very best Aussie-made goodies. From handcrafted homewares and accessories to innovative Aussie inventions, you'll find a top Aussie product for every occasion. Each one carries the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo, so you can be sure it's genuinely Aussie. Hop to australianmade.com.au/top Aussie and support local while you shop.
Whenever we get stuck and need quality timber or decking real quick on site, we turn to the robot.
Robot's got it.
Robot Building Supplies always helps us get the job done.
You can rely on Robot Building Supplies day in, day out. Right now, 90 by 35 MGP 10 pine is only $4.72 per metre. Discount for quantity. Robot's been in the building game for over 70 years.
They've seen it all and know it all.
Robot Building Supplies, Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham.
ROBOT Robot Building Supplies.
Get your 125.
Go get it, Tommy. Yes, get it. Go. No. How could you do that, you absolute genius? I don't believe it. He's going to do it. He's going to blow it for everyone. You useless son of a gun. What a gun. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes.
Being a fan is hungry work. 4 and 20. Australia's original fan food.
When you're freezing cold or when you're boiling hot, who you gonna call? We're the world.
Take advantage of the VEU government rebate and trade in your old gas heater for huge discounts on ducted reverse cycle systems, multi-splits or split systems.
Our service is professional, prices are unbeatable. We're the biggest and the best, and we do it all for less. So who you gonna call? We're the world.
For your free quote, visit weatherworld.com.au.
You're listening to AFL Nation. For Repco authorised service, Tyre Power, Big Footy Final Sale, and 4 and 25.
Sicily takes his chance deep. Deer is lurking. Spoils are made. Watson underneath. Had past to Gunston. Had past to McDonald. Walking goal. Play of the night. That has been building. The Hawks are out to a 21-point lead.
Got it up to Amon. Sends it long. It's wide. It's at Gunston. He can't get there. And Deer has plucked that from nowhere. Has he got this kick in him? From 48. Drop punt. Goal.
No, yeah.
The Deer in the spotlight. How good's this kid?
Macca's. I'm loving it moments. The Monopoly game at Macca's is back.
Hawks by 36. Sturmit Burton, Jared Healy. John Newcomb, 15 disposals in the third quarter. Just took complete control in the middle of the ground there underneath the good work of Big Lloyd Meek, thanks to Hijaz Halal Financial Services, those stats.
Well, you just want to see something out of the Dogs because it's been a horrible showing and you can't get more excited about the Hawks right now. Who knows where they're going to finish this season. They are in scintillating form. I can't see this turning around. I hope for everyone's sake that the Dogs put up a bit of a fight.
But there's no moves happening. The Dogs have gridded out into the same positions as basically when they started this game. There's no surprise move here at three-quarter time. McRae's on the back flank.
Final term of this elimination final at a sold-out MCG. Heavily advantaged toward the Hawks. Meek wins the opening tap. Treloar got some sort of kick away. Jamara hit it hard. Hand pass to Bontempelli. Put it into open space. That space was shut down by Newcomb. He tossed it out the back. Aim on with the footy. Under pressure. Got his kick away. Ugle-Hagan and Sicily went to work. It's got to be one against the boundary. It won't be. Throw it in. What have we got on the power play rankings for Red Energy? Switch to Red Energy.
So McRae's gone to the half-forward flank, not going into the middle.
So the beauty of where the Hawks are at, they can get the ball and just control possession. Just wind the clock down.
Over on the worn wing. Tossed into play. Shallow throw in. Meek and English nullified each other. Bontempelli stripped of the ball. English fed it forward to McRae over his shoulder to Treloar. Went to ground. Newcomb wrapped him up. And the ball stayed between them.
Only thing with that, Jared, is they're brash.
They are, indeed.
They'll want to have a go. They'll want to score.
There's some good TikTok time left.
Yeah, we might see a celebration or two in this last quarter. Treloar tried to get a kick away, couldn't. D'Ambrosio gets it to Amon. Long kick towards the wing. McDonald was there and he nudged out, and it's illegal, and there's a push in the back free to Frazier. So Frazier's got it on the wing for the Dogs. Time is of the essence now. 41 plays 77. Heads to Bontempelli inside 50, and he gets there and takes the mark. So the Bont has a shot from on the 50 arc, from directly out, to keep this game alive.
So I get the feeling Bont is like a batsman who's still seeing the ball well, but he can't run between the wickets. He's got to hit boundaries, and that means in football, get to the clearance and just loiter forward to somewhere where you'll be dangerous.
You feel it's over. If he misses, it's alive. If he kicks it, it is alive. It is still alive for the Dogs. The captain delivers 7-5-47 to 11-11-77 with an eternity left in this last quarter. 18 minutes and 30 seconds left on the Makita XGT 40-volt max clock in his fourth quarter. Brought to us by Deutz Fahr Tractors, the Deutz Fahr Warrior range from 170 to 350 horsepower. It's Deutz Fahr Evolved. Visit deutzfahr.com.au.
You're going to think I'm making this up, but I sat in one of the Warrior Tractors, the 8220, right, and it is a monster. It's a huge tractor.
You're thinking of getting one up to the farm, are you, Dad?
Maybe three. If I can. No, they're about $250,000 drone, maybe not that much, but they're a very pricey piece of equipment. They are beautiful.
Hawks by 30, bounce back in the middle. Meek brought it down. Bontempelli paddled it forward, and he pounces on it. He's going to drive the Dogs all the way to the square. No, he touched it. He didn't mark it.
And the Bont frustrated. He wanted that shepherded.
Yeah, and probably should have been.
Yeah, that would have gone crazy. The crowd would have been up then.
He showed some wheels out of the centre then.
Yep.
29-point deficit.
Yep.
That would have been well and truly game on had that been shepherded through. Wide ball. English out there. Got a hand on it. Couldn't mark it. O'Donnell gets it. Gave it up. Caleb Daniel trickling kick. Amon gets on the end of it. From half-back launches to the wing. It's a bomb. It's high. It's long. And Lob gets there. And the Lobster has been as solid as ever today. He hasn't let him down.
Plays it to the wing. Daniel takes the mark. Brings the Dogs up to half forward. Darcy presents. Mark before Frost could knock it out of his hand.
It's only 3 minutes, but this is the best the Dogs have played, and the worst that the Hawks have played for the match.
Darcy out to Dale, boundary side, confronted by Moore, so got right under the kick. It's into the pocket. English had a fly. Weddle made the spoil.
So they're not playing with anywhere near the intensity. You just wonder what Sam Mitchell said and how they've interpreted it, whether it's like just be conservative or whatever it is, but they haven't started in this last term yet, the Hawks.
Well, they haven't had control of the ball. The Dogs have actually owned control of the ball here, and you get to set the pace when you do that.
So the Dogs will know it's happened to the Hawks before. Port and the Giants both did it from similar positions to this. Richards wrenches it clear from the stoppage, but his hand pass is poor. Amon got it, gave it to Scrimshaw. Kicks out the near side to open space. The race is on. Ginnivan gives up a head start. He won't get there. Williams to Fraser, who slipped over. Back to Williams. He too slipped over. Gets up to take his kick inside 50. Norton had a fly, dropped the mark. Bontempelli off to Waitman. The snap to the square. The dive of D'Ambrosio. He got the fists to it. The umpire's going to see it all checked. Score review for $30 off for 6 months.
Review complete. Looking at this angle, we can see the ball's touched by the right hand of the Hawthorn defender. Decision on the scoreboard.
He saw that for a grandstand.
28 points. Dogs doing all the attacking on the Deutz Far Tractor score.
D'Ambrosio got the touch on it. The Dog fans there. Stop that being a goal.
Good dive, Dwayne.
It was a good dive. And now Hardwick with the kick in, and he runs his full measure. Heads long. Chol from 15 couldn't get the jump at it. Ward trapped it front and square. Tackle by McRae. Will get a ball up. And there's a little hush around the MCG. Hawk fans have been celebrating.
But Hardwick on the bond. It's a bad matchup.
Not done just yet. D'Ambrosio wheels his way out of the traffic. Kicked to Caleb Daniel, but he dropped it. Chol, he weaved his way past Lob. Little chip kick is good. Back to Ward. He's got Newcomb if he wants to give it. And now they're holding it up a little.
Haven't been inside forward 50 yet, the Hawks. Now they go.
Gave to D'Ambrosio inside 50. Ginnivan got there late. Knocked down more. Can't trap it. Ball out of play. That's a win for Hawthorn. Ball in forward pocket. Game still alive. 77-49. Hawthorn 11-11. Dogs 7-7 in this elimination final, which still has 16 and a half minutes left in the final term, brought to us by Deutz Far Tractors.
Ball on its way into play. Meek wins it down. Fraser's there, though, at the source for the Dogs. Clears the area initially. Darcy had it spoiled by Sicily, and they fight for it underneath. Ball up. Left half forward for the Hawks. Meek down to D'Ambrosio. Kicks it around the corner. Bouncing ball back inside the 50. Dogs will be happy to run this over the boundary as O'Donnell gets there first.
He'd run over the boundary by his own teammate then.
Yeah. Fraser O'Donnell. The best part of 50 metres out from the Hawthorn goal. Boundary throw in this time. Meek to the front. Ends up at the footy. Daniel disrupted the play, though, for the Dogs. Out the back to Treloar. High ball down the wing. He takes some marking. Darcy brought it to ground. Hardwick. He pinched it for the Hawks back inside. English went with a flight. Didn't mark. Bramble weaved a passage through. Good little move. Had a bounce. Kick with aggression for the Dogs. And up goes Harms. Graceful one-on-one mark. Kicks for Darcy inside the 50. And he's going to work it on to Norton. He missed him. Norton on the first bounce and got away from him. Hawks swarm, and the moment passes for the Dogs.
Been their own worst enemy, the Dogs. Ball out of play, forward pocket for the Bulldogs.
Can I take you back to one moment on the wing then? Jamara's standing at the drop of the ball for the long ball that comes out. He then runs himself under the drop of the ball, turns around and looks to be front and centre crummer.
Yeah, Jamara running under has been an issue for, years term?
Yeah, but do it accidentally. Don't deliberately do it to be a crumbing player.
Meek knocked it down to the front, and now it's knocked back to him. He gave it to D'Ambrosio. Kicks outside defensive 50 for the Hawks. Big ball to win here. Lob a chance to win it. Does win it. Gave it up. Could have been high by Ginnivan. No. Umpire says no. Legal tackle. Looked to be around the neck of Duray, but Duray doesn't complain. Gives it to the umpire, middle of the ground.
So Luke Brewster's on, and Jack Gunston has been subbed out.
Right, the traditional Hawthorn sub. One
pensioner for the other.
Yes, I was trying to be kinder than that, but you're right.
Just keeping the average age down out there.
From the scramble, and we'll get another ball up middle of the ground. This full house, no one has moved. 49-77. It's still alive for the Dogs, but they'll have to be quick.
Knocked away from the stoppage out of the ruck. Waitman came up to meet it. Ginnivan went to get him.
That's holding the ball.
And it is holding the ball against Waitman. Ward and Ginnivan did a good job.
Battle today, Waitman. He's hit the packs hard when the packs have been in his vicinity, but he cannot get his hands on the ball.
Ginnivan goes for Meek over on the worn wing. He's got options up ahead. He finds McDonald. McDonald just gets himself disentangled with Daniel. Has a look what's on offer deep. Chol makes his lead out into the pocket. The kick goes to full forwards. Pack forms. Lob had a leap at it. More underneath. Tackled by McRae. Ginnivan is held up by Duray. Ball it up. 30 out.
So now... Oh, sorry, Glenn, go.
No, I was pointing to
So
you.
now with Bruce on, they are going to be desperately small and really good at crumbing level. The Hawks. It's going to be a free kick on this one.
It's going to the Dogs, so they'll get the free kick at fullback and O'Donnell to take it.
So, yeah, they're going to be really agile at ground level in their forward line, the Hawks.
Heads out wide towards the wing. Norton's out there, and Darcy got there. Good grab. So they've got it on the wing, the Dogs, and they've still got time if they're good enough. 11 gone. Final term. Floats it wide to Norton. Way out wide. And it bounces out of play in front of Norton. And more deep breaths from Dog fans wondering what kind of Dog team's this been tonight. 11-11 to 7-7. Although we have seen this Bulldogs once a month, haven't we, all year?
And not as bad as their very worst.
No.
The throw in, Meek taps it down. Nash tracks it to the boundary. Liberatore got in and under, edged it back over the line. TAC, stop kidding yourself. If you drink, don't drive. 14 minutes remain. Hawthorn fans will be tracking that clock. They offer their enthusiasm from the stands. Meek and English go to work. Impey underneath, right under the kick, so it's a high ball to get after. Deere tried to swipe it on. It fell the way of Nash. He worked it onto Ward and out the back to Newcomb. Kicks for Chol at half forwards. He's desperate to get it on. O'Donnell overcommitted. Get it on, he does. Bruce has it in the pockets.
Go back and kick the goal. He's now being instructed to do exactly that.
Game 299. He could make a big down payment on his 300th in a semi-final next week. Bruce on the move, out of the pockets. He hit the posts.
So Geelong win last night with one tall and a very, very tall half-forward flanker in Jeremy Cameron. You just wonder whether people are going to accept that this is a ground ball game and not an aerial game.
Yeah, it's changed the evolution of the game. Bontempelli's got it in the middle of the ground. They're not done yet, the Dogs. The tall forward line hasn't worked so far. The handoff is good. The chip kick is to half, but Sicily's been epic all night. He's tackled by Liberatore. Now, he was tackled by the collar, and it slipped high, and Sicily gets the free. Libba pleads his case.
So the Dog collared him, Glenn.
The Dog collared him. Nice work.
Grabbed him over the shoulder, his first point of contact.
He's worked hard, Libba. As always, you never have to really say that.
Sicily from half-back. Pulls the kick late. That is a delightful pass to big Lloyd Meek on the move.
Not many players in the league that are going to attempt that kick.
I love the fact that Lloyd Meek led for it instead of waiting for the big long bomb. Now Deer's about to fly here, front of the pack. Couldn't quite get the fly. Ginnivan off the crumb. A roller and a ripper goal. Here's the celebration. He's having a drink. He's at the pub having a drink. The Ginnivan celebration, and the crowd goes wild.
Dipper loved that one more than any.
He almost busted the window between us.
See, I got Dipper on one side, I got Dunstall on the other. One sort of enjoyed the celebration more than the other, but I think they both appreciated the goal.
Yeah, it just took this weird track of flight through the air. I thought the Dogs, as they've done so much early in this game, have been able to get a smothering hand on it. It looked like it might have been unsettled in its path, but kicked truly.
They're off to Adelaide, let's be honest. Just like Adelaide.
Well done by
everyone
Deere.
on a break, Ginnivan. He just made the down payment last night on the celebration tonight.
Yeah. You cannot be that sinister, Jared.
He set it up. The Collingwood comparison that'll all be made tomorrow. Take the celebration. He knows what he's doing in the modern era. Ball to be won in the middle. Bontempelli does. Hand pass to Liberatore. Kick inside the 50. Ugle-Hagen from behind. No good. Scrimshaw stood his ground and outmarked him cold. Brings it out the near side to McGuinness. Brings it along the wing. McDonald.
He had the sit on him. Yeah. The ball was dropping steeply on a man trapped under the footy.
It's the $1 million kick, and it's right up to the task. 45 degrees to the logo for Warple. Sweeps the hand pass to Whittle. Does the same. Up to Amon. Kicks from range. Too strong for Chol. If he just sat that 3 metres further in, Chol would have taken the mark. And the crowd has posted at a rather phenomenal 97,828. And the Hawks are 36 points to the good.
What an amazing story the Hawthorn Footy Club has been for a long, long time. There's not a decade in recent times that they haven't won a flag. They won flags 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and they are on the charge to the top of the ladder again. Ward goes wide.
2-1-1 ahead.
Bruce sends it long. Dia got it, no! Outmarked by Lob, front spot. He had a good jump at it, though, and it's fun to watch.
It's just about Dogs' best player, Lob.
Yeah.
Kick on the way out from the Dogs. It was good enough to find Williams, and he's been paid either a free kick or a mark. Either way, he's got the footy inboard to Bontempelli. So it's the biggest crowd we've ever had at an elimination final.
Wow. Glad they didn't have it. Were Marvel or Ballarat, were they going to host it if they wanted to?
Hardwick got in front of
their home
English.
ground.
Disrupted the play. English knocked it out of Hardwick's hands. It's over the boundary.
We'll see a prelim final hosted by the Dogs at Ballarat sometime if the Giants are going to do it then.
You'll need the state government to kick in roughly $2 billion for an upgraded stand facility.
We're exactly halfway through the final term. 6-goal leaders, the Hawks. Warple receives the tap. He's kicked the ball up to the 50, and he's got it running toward the boundary. Deer closing O'Donnell as well. It's over the line. That is precisely what they had in mind.
And that might be it for the Bont. He's just come off, so he's crook.
This is just celebration time now for the Hawks.
Meek off, and that means once again. So Meek comes off, and Tim English gets to go against Connor Nash.
It's inside Hawthorn's 50 at the throw-in. Nash knocked it down to the front. Liberatore farmed it out. Treloar cleared the area, but he got under the kick. Harms made the contest, but lost it. McGuinness worked it around. Amon kick inboard was risky. It was cut off by Vandermeer. He links it up to McRae. Delivers the Dogs forward, but wide. And Sicily will get there first. He's got the boundaries. He got hit by Darcy with his head over the ball.
It's only to be reported here, but it was nasty.
That's pretty
Clumsy.
terrible action in the modern game.
Clumsy.
Been clumsy earlier this year as well.
Well, to his defence, he got pushed into him by Jack Frost. Have another look here. There's Frosty. No, Frosty caused that one.
Yeah, Frosty tried to move him to the side, but just couldn't get enough purchase on him.
No, it was classic Frosty.
I think you're right.
I'm not sure Sam did everything he could possibly do to stop making contact, though.
Frosty.
Wide ball. English goes hard, and Nash knocked it down. Liberatore inside to Richards. Inside to Frazier. Has a bounce. And from 60, skies it a little. Vandermeer back with a flight. Impey got there. Double fister. Knocked it down. Waitman got it up. Treloar. Daniel. Frazier. He has a flying shot at goal, and he misses almost everything. It's only a behind.
I just asked the question about Hawthorn and their chasing of Battle and Barris.
My feeling is they only need one of them.
Pretty well served, aren't they? Unless they're going to play Sicily forward.
Yeah, how are they going to get into a premiership lineup?
Not sure.
Right half forward for the Dogs, the boundary throw in. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies for Tyre Power. Big footy final sailing for Repco authorised service. Nash knocked it down. Richards won the footy though. Hand pass to Daniel. High for the Dogs inside 50. Jamara had a leap at the pack without ever threatening to mark. Darcy breaks his way through. Hand pass to Vandermeer. He'll kick the goal.
Well, it was great work by Big Darcy. He's been one of the real stars of the season coming through. He's going to be an icon of the game, hopefully, the Western Bulldogs. But despite his efforts today, this is going to be a very disappointing result for the Western Bulldogs. Brooksy's lying on the chair in pain, lying on the floor, I should say.
29 points down.
Just with my Hawthorn hat on, buggering.
Yep.
Are you thinking Hawthorn Geelong Grand Final, Dan? What you're lining up here, just for old time's sake?
1 week at a time, right?
Okay.
His dipper's hoping it is.
Inside 50s, 31 for the Dogs, 55 for the Hawks. Thanks to Hija's Halal Financials.
It could be their lowest inside 50 target total for the year. And they've had a couple of absolute shockers, but this is...
And yet they're winning clearance, 40-36, centre clearance, 10-9.
20 minutes up on the Makita XGT clock, 40v max. So English wins the ruck contest. In fact, took it out of the ruck, kicked it to half forward. Sicily lays a tackle and holds it in. And so for a bloke with a bung shoulder, he's been pretty good tonight.
So even on that, when English wins that, it's because it's against Chol.
So English against Nash this time, down to Treloar, gave to Libber, gave to Fraser, handball back to English, loops it wide. In fact, his handball was smothered again. English got it back to Dale. He got it up to McNeil. High ball, goal square. Darcy edged out, thought he deserved the free, didn't get it. Ginnivan comes down to defence to lend a hand. Morrison scrambles a kick away straight to Duray, and he's 80 from goal as he backpedals.
Duray just takes his time trying to find a target. He failed badly. Morrison filled the hole and takes the mark. Brings the Hawks out to McDonald's.
They don't miss too many targets, the Hawks, and when they do, there's generally some support.
They've turned into a really good kicking team.
Yeah, haven't they?
Maybe Chol got a cork buttock in that centre bounce contest.
Kick long up the line. It's won back by Jones for the Dogs. He's aggressive kick inboard, doesn't pay off. Warple steals it, gives it to Bruce, links it up to D'Ambrosio, has a bounce, kicks it to Watson. He's going to share it onto McGuinness, and there's the sealer. The Hawks are off to Adelaide. A semi-final date awaits, and they might run rampant through this September. The game-sealing moment for Loctite. Fast, strong and reliable adhesives that go beyond the bond. 13-13-91 to the Bulldogs, 8-8-56.
They are a seriously fit team.
Seriously good team. Good to watch too.
They just run so hard. Yeah. When they get a sniff, it's as if, you know, when you get into that excitement mode, there's a reward on the end of this.
Yeah.
If I run hard enough. When there's a sniff of that reward, my God, it's like throwing Jaffas downhill. They just roll on and pick up speed as they're rolling downhill towards the goals.
And we've got a tradition of teams now maybe kicking 100 points again to win games in finals. Attack winning finals, not defence winning finals. Nash had it stripped. Bontempelli gets it. Been lean night at the office for him. He kicks it towards Waitman. Lean night at the office for him. Couldn't mark it. Amon weaved his way past them. Heads out wide. Moore. He's about to pounce on the wing, and Bramble with Moore sees it out. 6:31 left in the final term. 8-8-56 the Dogs. Hawthorn 13-13-91.
Dylan Moore only the 11 possessions tonight and one behind. Not a huge game for him.
Thrown in, worn wing. Lincoln English shared it. Warple worked it on. D'Ambrosio out the back. Hand pass to Nash. Kicks down the wing. Jones clattered into by Chol. Ball over the boundary for a throw-in. Jones to soak it all in. Some of the Dogs fans have decided they've seen enough. You can pick their bays that have emptied out in the past few minutes. Nick and English got stripped of it. Nash did the work there. Treloar's hand pass batted down by D'Ambrosio. He threw a boot at it. It didn't quite amount to anything, and it's over the boundary again.
So, I know I've said it a few times, but the more this game rolls on, the more that Lloyd Meek is in Tim English's head.
Mitchell on the boundary line.
It's a lot to soak in.
Yep.
And their first finals win since the 2015 Premiership, the Hawks. Richards breaking his way clear. Hand pass to Duray. Got the link up to Vandermeer, who delivers inside 50. McNeil spoiled by McGuinness. Ball loose to the back, and McGuinness is the first to recover. Brings the hand pass over the top to Frost. Has the target on the way out in Moore. He'll just take a breath, the defensive 50.
Really important possessions from McGuinness, who's, he's right on the borderline. Whether he's in, whether he's out, there's a couple of blokes potentially coming back into the team.
Well, Chol get the big run and jump here, and Jones got there ahead of him. Couldn't take the mark. Chol fights in on hands and knees. We'll get a ball up on the wing here. You make a good point. Now it's about maybe some preservation, but also if you're on the borderline, making a statement.
Yep.
Fighting it all the way to the wire. You've still got 5.5 minutes to prove to Sam Mitchell you're the man. Meek's been the man all night. Handball cut off by Treloar. Got it to Caleb Daniel. Inside kick is to Williams. He's got Frazier on the flyby. He might honour it, he might not. Has a bounce. Should honour it. Doesn't honour it. Now goes down the spine with the kick. Heads long. Waitman on a 1-on-3. He's not going to beat the 3. And Frosty is one of the 3, and he gets a big round of applause. Heads out wide towards Sicily, and he'll probably get a big round of applause as well. They have dominated tonight, Hawthorn. They lead 13-13 to 8-8. 25 minutes gone, final term.
D'Ambrosio Moore had to win a contest, and he did. Works the hand pass to Morrison. He'll hand pass up to McDonald. Bouncing run down the wing. Sets it too wide. Bruce was his target. He missed kicks. Out on the full.
Unusual. They haven't missed too many targets tonight, Hawthorn.
Star has it going backwards to Lob.
Trainer's been out to Frosty. Just checking everything's all right.
There's a goal to Bramble, and out the near side to O'Donnell. Daniel makes space. He's one of those dogs with a slightly uncertain future. Dribbles the ball inboards. Waitman got pushed in the back. Flash in the back by Hart.
Could be his last game for the Dogs.
Yeah, there might be a couple that are on that edge. What's McRae going to do? What's Daniel going to do? What's Sicily going to do here? Norton got there from 3 deep. He snaps around the body and might get himself a consolation prize. He does, with an amazing, uncanny bounce to the right. Got himself a goal. He's got 3. It'll wallpaper over the cracks. That's about it for the Dogs. 8-8 turns to 9-8. Hawthorn 13-91. We've got 4 minutes of the season left for the Dogs. They might as well enjoy it while they can. Frosty coming to the bench.
Bit of a limp up for the Frosty.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that.
Deer's got a little bit of a corked thigh high, and maybe or Chol copped that big knee in the buttock at the centre bounce, so he's come off for a breather as well. I think they'll be very cautious with how they approach this final 4 minutes.
Will they start the favourite next week, do you think, Hawthorn?
Yeah. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
This is the game of Lloyd Meek's career, I reckon, tonight.
What have we got on the power play rankings for Red Energy? Switch to Red Energy.
What you've got, Jared, is Connor McDonald has made a charge to the top with 115, and Hardwick's 111, and Newcomb's 112.
Warple, brilliant win out of the middle, straight out the front, has a bounce, steadied and missed.
You don't get too many chances like that to make the whole MCG erupt.
I was chasing him, fell over.
It was almost too easy in the end. Yeah. He pulled up and had a long time to look at it. Frazier runs half back, put it to the deck for Williams to scoop it up. He gave it off to Richards. Chip kick back to Frazier, and that'll work. He's on the wing. He pokes it to Liberatore. Just the required, but Libba plays on anyway. Back to Frazier. Third possession in this string of plays. Cooked. Gave it up to Norton. Back inside to McRae. Pokes it inside. Newcomb should gobble it up, and he does. And the Hawthorn chance not far away from ringing around the MCG. 3 minutes and change left to full time. And the Hawks are off to Adelaide next week to play Port Adelaide after another amazing performance under Sam Mitchell. Ball out of play. We'll get a ball in. And the score for Deutz Far Tractors, 9-8-62 the Dogs to Hawthorn, 13-14-92. And if you join us late, the Dogs led by 12 points at quarter time.
Ackland shared it underneath. Nash fed it away. D'Ambrosio, Meek and Morrison. That's to get it to half forward where Deer rises from behind. Went the spoil. Knocked it down in front of Newcomb. Such a clever hand pass to Moore, who let the traffic go by. Sets them to half forward. Committed play from McDonald. Forged his way clear and then dabs into the pocket for Deer. Calcidir can have a look at a fourth goal in the final.
I was really hoping he went to the goal square there. There would have been a battle of the Titans. Caleb Daniels taking on the Wizard in a marking contest at the top of the square. It would have been like midget wrestling. Was that? Am I allowed to say that these days?
Probably not really. I think so, no.
Oh,
3 goals, 3. Kel Shadir has kicked. He'll come in from the boundary and hook it at goal. Across the face. 3 goals, 4. 2 of those have hit the post. 7 shots in his first final. Hawks by 31.
But the kids look all right. Watson's going to be a player, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
And Deer's going to be all right. Down the spine they travel. Scrimshaw, Norton beats him for a rare moment to Treloar, who runs the wing.
Got a few others, McDonald and Weddle.
They do have some good ones. Weddle's been a little quieter tonight, but you're right, they have some good kids. Amon gets there with Darcy, and here is Weddle on cue, just to prove us wrong. He goes on one of those Weddle waddles, got the handball to Scrimshaw out wide to Moore, and he takes the mark, sliding in on his knees on the wing. He goes back to Morrison. He'll hold his spot. He's been pretty good tonight. He's been in and out all year, but he's fought the fight. He's been all right tonight.
See, when you consider who the Hawks have got out, in Day in particular and McKenzie, another 2 midfield guns, they're well serviced, and there's going to be probably no Smith coming back into this side next year.
D'Ambrosio up the line to Moore, inside 50. McInnes rises. Ginnivan tried to find a way through. Dabbed it out to Watson. Taken high. Sense of occasion from the umpires. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. A bit of a fight in the aftermath of it.
There it was, at ground level, but it was Daniel versus the Wizard.
And Caleb Daniel gave him one to go on.
It was wrestling too.
Go on with
one.
one.
You can't do that.
He obviously...
Richards doesn't want to play in the first round next year.
Won't be throwing round arms into Deer.
That's dumb stuff.
Caleb Daniel said, here's one I can attack.
Nick Watson with a chance to kick his 4th. What an impression he has made right throughout the year and in this elimination final. The celebrations know no bounds. The Wizard with 4. 14-15-99 Hawthorn to the Bulldogs 9-8-62. Moments to remember for so many.
He was really angry there, Caleb Daniels, but if you look at it, Watson went to ground to win the ball and stayed down. You can do that. It's when you are approaching the tackle and you duck after winning the ball. You're allowed to go to ground to pick it up, and that's where he was, and that's where Daniels tackled him. That's on Daniels.
Yep. Listen to the Hawthorn fans here. A matter of seconds remain. They've all stuck around. They advance the next week in this amazing season, the Hawks. And to take us home on AFL Nation, here's Gerard Whateley.
Seconds remain. Bounced in the middle. Meek took it out. No, too far outside the circles. Yes. Fewer seconds remain. It's one way to whittle them down.
3 seconds gone.
Tossed out. Meek out the side. Richards hunts the footy. He gathers for the Dogs. Starts back inboard. Sweeps a hand pass to Liberatore. Had to wait a long time underneath. Last hand pass away. The Hawks swarm in their pressure. The Hawks swarm into the semi. The mastermind that is Sam Mitchell tastes September success as a coach for the first time. And this remarkable rise of Hawthorn has such a role to play in this pointy end of the season.
And we play to win, riding the bumps with a grin at Hawthorn. Come on, may you find us striving. Teamwork is the thing that talks. One for all and one for one, the way we play it more. We are the mighty Hawks.
There are Olympic gold medalists. There are prime ministers here sharing the moment with the brown and gold. The biggest crowd to ever witness an elimination final. They have seen Hawthorn 14-15-99 defeat the Bulldogs 9-8-62. The Dogs led by 12 at quarter time, Hawthorn by 11 at the half, 36 at the final change and 37 at the close. 97,828 saw it. That's a miserable end to the Dogs season from such a promising position.
We're the mighty fighting Hawks. We love our club and we play to win. Riding the bumps with a grin at Hawthorn. Come what may, you find us striving.
You have to look deep into your soul and ask yourself, are you ready for Hawthorn to be successful again? Because here they are before us. Goal kickers for the winners, 4 for Watson, 3 for Deere, 2 for McDonald, with singles to Newcomb, Meek, Gunston, McGuinness and Ginnivan. Norton kicked 3 for the Dogs, 1 each to Treloar, Bontempelli, Darcy, Vandermeer, Williams and English. The Hawks by 37. Dermot Brereton and Jared Healy for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts.
So the Hawks kicked 9 goals of the combination of the second and third quarters, Jared.
Yep.
John Newcomb got 11 possessions second quarter and 15 in the third. There were 26 possessions. I mean, that's Bontempelli type stuff in the middle of the ground when this game was being separated in that second and third quarters. He played a huge game. A few other boys do really well, and they still could get some uplift from a few others as well. The one thing that's keep coming back to me is how many times do you have to see James Sicily kicking the absolute eyes out of it from half-back before you say, can't allow that.
Yep.
Just can't allow it, and they allowed it.
Yeah, it's a fair point. I mean, you're coming in, you just see how many he launched, particularly in that second quarter when he was the best player on the ground. In that second quarter, he launched a number of shots at goal, and the TikTok specialists are getting their photos taken in the middle of the ground now.
There's a few hanging out the back.
Oh, there is, yeah. They're the old blokes. I don't want to know about
Gunston,
it.
Bruce and Hardwick, they want none of it.
But it's just been a phenomenal story, from the recruiting, from the appointment of Mitchell, for targeting the players that they targeted, for nailing some of their kids out of the draft. Like Weddle was a fantastic pick. They traded up to pick 18 and snaffled him. You know, they've nailed McDonald, and the list goes on. And they're doing this without their best midfielder in Will Day, who's hopefully going to come back into the side. I've got my doubts, but hopefully he can continue on. Mackenzie's a bit of a chance, but he had a hamstring, so he's unlikely to play next week. But Culture Deer's another one that they've obviously there's family history there at the club, but
Jath is another one that's knocking on the door,
and you've got Jath. So there's some depth there, Dwayne, that makes it scary, given that they already have picked up a couple of, they think they've picked up a couple of other key position players. But this is a great performance by the club, by Sam Mitchell, and by the group out on the ground, because their pressure just started in top gear and didn't let up, bar for about 5 minutes at the start of the fourth quarter.
So if you have a look at the Bont and the midfield of the Dogs, Libba does what Libba does. He'll go nose first, butt up, and he'll just plough in. So he does that. You then have to find drive elsewhere besides Bontempelli. Bontempelli's injured, so let's take a look at some of his numbers. He, out of a possible 127 minutes, he played 103. So he's on the bench for 24 minutes of the game. That's arguably the best player in the comp, the best game breaker in the comp. So we'd have to assume that things aren't quite right there physically. So where else does it fall to? You got McRae, who doesn't have the wheels anymore, so you can't move him in there into the middle of the ground. You got Adam Treloar, who's had a wonderful season getting the footy, but he doesn't have breakaway pace anymore, so he's an accumulator.
And only got it 18 times.
Yeah, and he doesn't separate you for distance.
Yep.
The one is Ed Richards, who you need to step up. And Ed Richards was, apart from some good patches, was clamped for most of the night. I mean, we ran through the spine of the ground in the first quarter, opening moments, and helped the Dogs put the very first goal on the board. Other than that, we didn't see his breakaway speed. So they need deeper midfield stocks, I believe, if they're to travel a little bit deeper in 2025.
Riley Sanders for next year.
What's that?
They've got Riley Sanders. They've got a couple of young guns. But
So they've got to bring him up. They've got to get them to the level, and you've got to turn him into a 22, 24 games per season type player.
Ed Richards had 10 in the first half, 6 in the second half. He really didn't have an impact in that second half. I'm with Dermot. I think they need midfield strength, and yes, they've got this young kid coming through, Dwayne, but his first year was okay. It was nowhere near as impressive as some, certainly nowhere near as impressive as how hard they chased him. So
he was hot early in the practice matches, and then had a few games, and then he got a bit, some would say he got a little petulant, but He's going to get better.
He hasn't got the wheels, though, that I think you need. I mean, he's
clever.
He's a McRae type.
You need more of Wilson or...
well, they need a Bailey Smith, but Bailey Smith's going somewhere else.
Yeah, that is true. Actually, Bailey Smith's exactly the player they do need.
100%. And that's a concern because they are a little bit one pace through the middle of the ground, and there's nothing that I can see that's coming through with Bailey Smith is going down to Jan Joe.
So
another one.
If you're a good player, if you're going to stamp yourself on the competition and say, I'm the number one, you've got to show it in the right moments. And Jamar Ugle-Hagan had a real bad night. He had a big fail tonight on the Wizard.
Nick Watson's put one of the crowd Wizard hats on his interview.
And I wanted to mention Nick Watson because we forget it's his first year. Yeah. He's kicked 4 goals in a final, which is
he might do a Silverioli, not win the Rising Star, but win a flag in his first year, having not won the Rising Star.
Well, I think it's pretty clear what Hawthorn think this game is, and that is a game on the deck. Yeah. And he's a very small player, but he's a very, very fine pickup. Kicked 4 goals.
When he got to Ed Richards, he didn't even hear him, and he got to him really quick.
Yeah, he had those boots on you talked about.
He has that ability to, and I keep saying, get to them quickly. He gets to the tackle before they look around over their shoulder at him and think that's enough space, 3 steps, and I can deliver it. He gets to them in their second step. He's so quick.
So they're a long way off. Ginnivan and Watson still out in front of the crowd being interviewed while the rest of them have gathered at the top of the race. So it's a quick dash across the MCG. If they get back here, it'll be grand final day. So it's Adelaide and then it'll be Sydney to face either of the Sydney teams in a preliminary final, if that is how far they get. So an extra little bit with their fans for the time being.
Well, the airlines will be ready to rock and roll and get their prices tripled.
No, Joyce's left. We want better price.
Newcomb 29, D'Ambrosio 25. I thought he was really good in the first half, D'Ambrosio. I mean, this is a guy that was picked up in the pre-season trade last year.
Marbia Chol got him for minimum chips.
Chol got him for how many? Packet of chips.
Minimum chips. Well,
minimum chips.
Third club, Marbia Chol, and he's playing the best footy. He must be able to coach, Sam Mitchell. He must be able to coach.
100%.
There's no doubt that the components of coaching, there's so many aspects to it, but the 2 major ones are coaching game style and getting in the heads of your players. He's achieving both.
So Scrimshaw's another one. Best footy of his career. Second club.
Kelsey had 7 shots. He kicked 3-4. Well, according to this,
yep, he did
3-4. It's a big. He's a first-year player as well.
Yes, absolutely.
2 hit the post.
And there's still so much to learn from him. There's times when, I called it during the game, you looked forward and Mabio Chol is opposed to Taylor DeRay and Calcidir just runs back and stands next to him and takes a 6'5" defender with him and spoils it. Where a smart player like a Gunston would say, no, I'm going to stay out here and make sure that Mabio gets that one-on-one.
Prime Minister is down in the Hawthorn rooms. Aaron Titmus is down in the Hawthorn rooms. They've got a high celebrity factor, the Hawks, to go with.
You might not get into. That's how many celebs are down there.
Yesterday's news.
Just put the sound of the rooms up, if you would. We should be sharing in this first finals victory since the 2015 premiership. Players got the coach in the song, arm in arm. He sang it so many times as captain and champion for that club, and now as coach. Outstanding. 37-point winners over the Western Bulldogs.
And the reality is, Jared, they're 3 wins away from a flag.
Yep.
It's scary. You tick them off one by one, but at 0-5, it's hard to believe that this is where they are.
So who was the last 0-5 team to win a flag?
I reckon North Melbourne did it 0-4, but they'd won a flag 2 years earlier before that happened. They weren't last on the ladder.
And just a reminder, who was the last team to win a flag from 8th? No one. Imagine that as a story.
Where were the Doggies when they were
7th?
They were 7th, were they? One of the stats I will give you on top of this is, spoke before the game and said to you during the week, if the Dogs are to win as good as they are around the ball with Libber and Bont and the likes, and we assumed Bont was 100% at that stage, they had to mark the ball in the forward half of the ground. Marks inside 50, the Hawks, 16. And with that 3-pronged 6'5" and above attack for the Dogs, marks inside 50, 7.
But some of the marks inside 50 was Ginnivan hitting Watson. I mean, it was to their guys in space.
Movement.
Yeah, it wasn't key forwards taking marks inside 50. It's actually Crummers taking marks inside 50.
And that harks back to one of the things you said about when you were mentioning some of the boys that Hawthorn are chasing for 2025. Yeah. If you can live with the taller forwards against you, the taller forwards can't put enough pressure on Scrimshaw and Sicily. Yep. Maybe Frosty. He's lost a yard, but he's playing within his boundaries now. But they don't get to Sicily. They don't get to Scrimshaw. And that allows Hawthorn beautiful foot skills coming out of the back half. And that's a balance they've kind of got right.
Yep.
They're exposed against the tall ones, but good at ground level.
Let's head into the rooms. The celebrations for Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives every day of the year. We got our first pick here. What would you say, from the pub to the paddock? Jack Ginnivan, congratulations. Welcome to AFL Nation.
Thanks for having me, boys. Yeah, what an amazing win. After quarter time, we just dismantled them, and we just played so good. I love seeing that from a young group.
Did you enjoy that with the crowd there at the end, sharing it with the Hawks faithfuls?
Yeah, not wrong. I think there was about 35 Wizards hats. Yeah, so Wizard was carrying on, and I was making sure he's in check.
Hey, Jack Dermott here. We were watching you through the binoculars down in the forward pocket at the punt road end after the game. You look like the elder statesman standing next to the Wizard.
Yeah, I look like a fossil compared to him and a big monster. But I'm only 2 years older than him, but I feel like a dad to him. But, oh, my God, how good is he? He's going to be an absolute superstar. He already is, and he's played 10 games, so that was an amazing effort from him.
He's got some wheels and he's got some tricks like yourself. I'll just take you back to quarter time. 2 goals down, and not speaking through my hat or anything, but I felt very confident that the Hawks' game style was all right. There was a couple of hack kicks that came out of the back line which gave the Dogs 2 extra goals late. But game style, I thought it was the way that Hawthorn wanted to play. How did Sam approach that address at quarter time?
Yeah, definitely. We felt like we were still, probably not on top, but very even. And I think they kicked 2 goals from the ruck, which was pretty junk, and that barely happens. And then, yeah, like you said, a few quick kicks went their way, and we tried to link up with hands, but their pressure was good early. And then, our work rate and our desire, John Newcomb's hands, and we just got our hands on the footy, and we were able to cut through them in the end.
Yeah, he went 11 and 15 in the second and third quarters. Now, you said the link of the hands going through there, through the middle, they were pretty good at stopping it, but then in that second half of the second quarter, you were able to get that run and link through. And also, you had a big win when you kicked it on to Gunner, who had a win as well. Yeah. 2 wins ahead of the footy, and that just gave the mini break.
Yeah, exactly. We pride ourselves on taking the tackle and testing it, and then we can create outnumber from that. And our mids have been doing that all year. Their midfield is A grade, and we stuck up next to them, and people probably don't think we're going to go up against them really well. But our mids showed tonight they're A graders, and unbelievable effort from our mids.
And you went for the celebration of necking a stubby after your final goal?
Yeah, a bit of carry on. I think a few boys owe me a few beers after I passed off a few as well.
So did you...
Well, I was going to talk about that.
You've been accused of going to the pub last night just to set up your celebration for today. Is that what you did, just to set up today's celebration last night?
Yeah, I think I'm running out of celebration, so just did that on purpose so I could crack open a beer, I guess.
Can you give us an indicator as to what you might do next Friday night before your celebration next week?
Can you suggest anything in Adelaide for me? There's probably not that much to do.
The Royal Show's on down there. Maybe you can go and get some fairy floss.
Yeah, licking some fairy floss can be my celebration.
Hey, Jack, I've got a celebration for you. If you're fortunate enough to get a Joe the Goose over the top, can you run into the open goal, kick it to yourself, but over the goal line, catch it on the other side, so it's a goal, and then run back into the goal square and spike it like they do in the NFL.
Jeez, you're asking a lot, but, you know, nothing's impossible for me, I think.
Would you permit one serious question around last night? Were you a bit miffed by it, or did you expose yourself to that by going to the pub the night before the game?
Oh, to be honest, look, I'm just a young kid, 21 years old. All my 6 best mates at the pub, we watched half a game of footy. I had 2 waters, and, you know, the media just carries on, so I don't really care, to be honest.
And don't we love it, Jack? So can you please just keep on keeping on, because everybody does love it. You know that, don't you? Even though you're going to be front page regardless, you know that people love you deep down, don't you?
Amen. Hopefully you guys love me, so you can keep going. And, what an amazing club, what an amazing effort, and let's go to Port Adelaide and hopefully knock them off as well.
Jack, if you keep winning, mate, you can do whatever you want.
Amen. Thanks for having me, boys.
Good on you, Jack. Well done. Jack Ginnivan with us down in the Hawthorn rooms, our post-game show for Deep Heat, fast targeted pain relief. Feel it work. 14-15-99 Hawthorn over the Bulldogs, 9-8-62. We've got some awards to hand out. We've got a bit to ponder on the Bulldogs side of things, and we'll set you up for Finey's final siren. It'll be enthusiastic, I'm sure, on both fronts. After 97,828 have seen it, the Hawks progress and the Bulldogs are out. AFL Nation brought to you by the TAC. If you've been drinking, don't risk driving.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for the Deutz-Fahr Warrior range. From 170 to 350 horsepower, it's Deutz-Fahr Evolved. Visit deutzfahr.com.au.
Step up to the next generation of professional power tools with Makita XGT 40 volt and 80 volt max. Experience premium professional power with cordless convenience that's setting new benchmarks in performance and efficiency. Makita's XGT offers limitless professional power, reliability and runtime. XGT simply outpowers, outsmarts and outlasts the rest. When power means business, choose Makita XGT. It's power without limits.
I want my Makita back.
Hi, it's Shelley Craft. For locally made gift ideas that shine like green and gold, check out Australian Made's top Aussie products, the go-to resource to find the very best Aussie-made goodies. From handcrafted homewares and accessories to innovative Aussie inventions, you'll find a top Aussie product for every occasion. Each one carries the trusted green and gold kangaroo logo, so you can be sure it's genuinely Aussie. Hop to australianmade.com.au/top Aussie and support local while you shop.
So, have you had anything to drink?
Yeah, but only a couple. And I ate a big meal.
Okay, breathe into the device, please. One long continuous breath.
I also drank plenty of water. And I'm a pretty big guy as well.
Okay, you've blown over 0.05, so I'm going to need you to step out of the car.
I'm not going to lose my license, am I? I didn't drink that much.
Stop kidding yourself. If you drink, don't drive. A message from the TAC.
Get yard, 125! Go get it, Tommy, yes, get it, go! No, how could you do that, you absolute genius! I don't believe it, he's gonna do it! He's gonna blow it for everyone! You useless son of a gun! What a gun! Yes, no, yes!
Being a fan is hungry work. 4 and 20. Australia's original fan food.
Nothing says modern farming quite like the Deutz-Fahr Warrior Series of tractors. Ranging from 170 to 350 horsepower, the Warrior Series lets you experience farming at full power. Available in a range of specifications with no AdBlue or DPF, the Warrior is your ultimate farming partner. To find your nearest stockist or to view the range, visit deutzfahr.com.au. The Deutz-Fahr Warrior Series. Unearth a legend.
Flat footy moments to avoid this season.
The second half.
At a Barbie, here's Jackson and his mates checking the stats for a multi. No! His battery goes flat! He can't get live updates!
Stay charged with a Signet Power Bank. Compact and lightweight, it fits in your pocket, and you'll never go flat or miss any part of the game. Signet Power Banks, available at signet.com, as well as in-store at JB Hi-Fi and other leading retailers.
Hello.
I'm hanging over your fence, watching you and your pool. Go on, scoop a leaf out. I've got plenty more. Annoying, right? And if you think I'm ruining your fence, take a look at your sewer line. And guess what? You can't touch me because I'm your neighbour's tree. No!
Honda's 36-volt battery garden range, complete with the all-new chainsaw, engineered for durability, quality and reliability. No backyard bothers a Honda. Search Honda battery power.
Hungry Jack's NBL is back.
The NBL is what dreams are made of. Greatness is within reach. No limits, only endless possibilities.
Every time we step on the court, we grind, we hustle, because every moment matters, and big dreams demand it.
Season starts September 19.
Watch live on ESPN, available via KO and Foxtel, and Sundays via 10 and 10 Play.
NBL, we dream big.
You're listening to AFL Nation. For Repco authorised service, Tyre Power, Big Footy Final Sale, and 4 and 25.
The post-game show for Deep Heat, fast, targeted pain relief. Feel it work. Hawthorn by 37 points over the Western Bulldogs. Just before we get to our awards, let's set you up for 15 minutes' time. Finey's final siren to cast your judgments on what's transpired in this elimination final. Finey, good evening.
Good evening. Wow, they're impressive, aren't they? They actually, Hawthorn should be asking exactly the same question the Bulldogs famously asked in 2016, and that is, why not us?
Yep, as Jared said, they're 3 wins away, and the scariest part is you can see the 3 wins.
You can,
it's not a great work of fiction to come up with it from here with the form that they're in, not just over a couple of weeks, but over a couple of months. Are we ready for Hawthorn to be successful again, Finey?
Sure, because every impartial watching the game closely over the last 2 months love watching Hawthorn. So, yeah, we're all ready for it because it's great football to watch. And tonight, it was both sides of the coin, wasn't it? Because we know that they're great when they attack and they run forward, and they've got players that a lot of people don't know well yet but are going to know very well in years to come, like the Wizard, like Dia. But their pressure in the third quarter, that was premiership-style football, wasn't it? It was fantastic.
One thing that stands out to me, Finey, is just how even they are. They're getting a contribution from everywhere, from Finn McGuinness on the wing, who's probably last into the team, through to the old men who come off the bench.
Yeah, I think those old men are important. One that started, one that came on in his place, because they're such steady heads, and they are still a young team. So they need, they would work, I think they work best with that level of experience on the field, which makes it very interesting if Mackenzie and Day become available during the final series, because nobody deserves not to be in that team. I've got one that I do want to ask you, because if last night is a blueprint for what we'll get tonight, and it normally is, then the losing coach comes under severe fire. And I want to ask how you can be shredded so badly in the third quarter, possession-wise and around the ball, and play Bontempelli at centre-half forward. Barely on the ball in the third quarter. I just couldn't understand it.
Our suspicion is he must have an injury.
But the confusing thing with that, Finey, is that in the final quarter early, he took the ball away from the centre bounce and dropped the hammer, and they couldn't catch him.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think he was injured. It just was perplexing. The only way the Bulldogs could win is if those 3 tall forwards clicked and found form. Now, it wasn't Ugle-Hagen's night. It was barely Norton's night, and Darcy was the most likely, but opportunities were limited and his kicking wasn't great. They didn't need another forward in Bontempelli. He had to be the one delivering it to them.
Finey, I suspect it'll be very lively. We'll be listening on the drive home. Good luck.
Thank you. I love lively, and, yeah, I love Hawthorn.
1300 736 736 when the time comes. It's only minutes away. Let's work through these awards. The Forever Young Player of the Day.
Sammy Frost for us. There was a couple of nominees, but Sam Frost was Reliable. We didn't think we'd actually say that about Frosty early in his career, but very reliable again tonight.
Tobin Brothers Funerals celebrating lives every day of the year. Who ran the most kilometres? Kick back and relax with an adjustable bed from Australian designed and owned OMF. Finn McGuinness ran 14.6 Ks. Who made it look easy? Incitec Pivot Fertilisers. Easy liquids products. Too easy.
I'm going to go for a team win here. The way Hawthorn brought the ball, when it was Connor McDonald's goal down at the punt road end, they brought it from the opposite back pocket by foot skills. Never did the ball hit the ground. It was kick mark, and they poked holes through the Dogs' defence until it got over the top to Connor McDonald in the forward pocket. That just looked way too easy.
Incitec Pivot Fertilisers, too easy. Australian-made smart play by Australian-made and support authentic Aussie makers.
I like the Wizards kick. The kick to the Wizard from...
was it
Ginnivan?
Ginnivan.
From Ginnivan, yes. Rather than blazing away at the goal, he just did exactly the right thing.
Sounds like he's kept receipts for that too. By authentically Australian-made. Toughest of the day for hard yakka workwear since 1930. Nothing's tougher.
I'm actually going to go John Newcombe here.
Yep.
I just thought he was a beast around the footy. Yeah, and when the game was up to be won, 2 quarters, second and third, he got it 26 times and just pulverised his way through tackles.
Hard yakka, nothing's tougher. What was the unmissable moment for Drink Wise? You won't miss a moment if you drink Wise.
I thought he's going to get a couple of nominations, but young Calcidir, when he pushed his opponent sideways in chasing a ground ball and then soccer kicked it off the ground at the city end of the field to score a goal for the Hawks.
A bit of Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Choose to drink Wise.
I think that's a foul, though, if you push him side on like that.
Goal of the day for Corteva. Paradigm Aralex Active Herbicide at reliable wide-spectrum weed control in cereals.
Back-to-back for Calcidir.
Yep.
Took a great mark on the half-forward flank at the other end.
Nailed it.
And just went back and kicked the set shot beautifully. I actually wondered whether he had that shot in him, but
he nailed it, didn't he?
Oh, beautiful.
Best defender for Tridectin, Australia's only triple combination drench containing
Well, Jack Scrimshaw would have to be very close. Sicily was superb. Sicily's won their word board before, so I think we'll give it to Jack Scrimshaw.
Bendix Breaks, big moment. Put your foot down with confidence. Bendix Breaks.
Oh, I think the Wizard when he when he just ran in and just nailed that final one there, and he just slapped his fist
the
into
celebration.
his chest.
The celebration was a good...
Ginnivan ripping the top off the stubby.
Yeah. That's the one I had.
All right, we'll go that one.
Who have you got for the power play rankings? Red Energy, switch to Red Energy.
We've got McDonald here with 20 effective disposals out of 23. Kicked 2 goals, 1. Had a darn good game at 119.
Now, the injury update for Nutrient Water, your destination for all things water. Rob McCartney told us in the pre-game that they would make an early call this week on Will Day. They won't let it string out. So that suggested to me that he's probably highly unlikely.
Yeah, First question to Bevo tonight at the presser will be, was Marcus Bontempelli injured or had the flu?
Well, they have to ask
water, irrigation, pump and filtration specialists. And that
he did only have 11 touches in the first half, so it's not like he was dominant.
Bont?
Yeah, Bont.
Maybe he came in with the flu. I'm just guessing, but I've never seen him play that lower possession game.
No, either have I.
And not fight through it.
Normally, if he gets a low possession game, it's 20-3.
Yeah, that's right. Or has a bad half and then kills you with the second half.
But can you remember him tonight cruising, because he's never been a big sprinter, cruising from line to line? I didn't see it.
No, maybe that's flu more so than an injury, because he got nothing treated. It's not like he got a hamstring rubbed, even though Jared made a good point, and that is maybe there was beyond repair the injury, so he said, don't scrap it, don't rub it, I'll just play with it, but who knows.
All right, the votes from the elimination final on AFL Nation for the TR Group, commercial truck and trailer rentals and lease.
I had a few that were up for nominations here at the Hawks, but I gave 3 to Joe Newcombe, 2 to James Sicily, and who do you want to go for the one voter, Lloyd Meek or Jack Scrimshaw?
Scrimshaw.
Okay. 1 to Jack Scrimshaw.
All right, so 3 to Newcombe, 2 to Sicily, and 1 to Scrimshaw. We didn't build any sort of suspension there at all, did we?
Sorry, got into that a little fast. And
Dermot, you must be pleased. Channel 7 are actually playing the Connor McDonald goal after your passage of play that you said was too easy. They've nailed that same passage. So they've been listening and quickly put it to air.
TA Group Truck and Trailer Rentals. All right, give me a closing word on the Bulldogs season. So they set the bar to make the finals, which they did. They'll be wretchedly unfulfilled to have played like that in the elimination final.
Well, the Bulldogs frustrate me to no end because I think they're too tall still in the forward line. I think they need to get some more run from somewhere. But when they've discovered the Rock Lobster and Liam Jones, their defence has been the best in the league by a long way for the last 8 weeks, and yet they couldn't really muster a finals-like effort. And as much as Port Adelaide were disappointing last night, the Dogs weren't as bad, obviously, but, geez, it was a disappointing finish to the season.
They need to get some wheels, at least to the outside of the midfield. They've got to have outside players who are able to run the lines because they had no one tonight. The other thing is, for me, the Dogs were able to bash up the teams that they were meant to bash up in a really even season. They didn't go further than perhaps we thought their talent might have taken them to. So I'm semi-disappointed. I think they failed miserably tonight on the big stage in the moment.
They've got a couple of big name players on big money, like English and Ugle-Hagan, that have got to take another steps up the ladder to justify what they're being paid and the reputations they've got.
We'll pick that up on Crunch Time tomorrow. And Jared, we'll see you in Sydney for the call.
Do.
Our finals presenting partner is Caveat Loans. Dan Isaac at caveatloans.finance. Common sense lending without the red tape. caveatloans.finance. The Hawks by 37 points. This has been the post-game show for Deep Heat. Fast targeted pain relief. Feel it work.
You're listening to AFL Nation. For Repco authorised service, Tyre Power, Big Footy Final Sale, and 4 and 25.